Nerds, what better gesture of showing your undying love than showing your girl the first episode of Feelings February? This is Between Nerds. I'm Aldo Mendez. This is Drew Elias. Welcome.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 128 of Between Nerds Podcast. Is that right? Do I know how to count?
Yes.
When 128 comes after 127. Again, we are recording on January 27th. Y'all are listening to this, a week and a half later, so it's February 1st?
Yeah, it's gonna be you're guys gonna be watching this on February 1st. First day of Feelings February. You guys know it. You guys love it. We love it.
Happy Groundhog Day. It's tomorrow.
Yeah. By then, this will be Black History Month and Hispanic Heritage.
Yeah?
Month.
No.
It starts on the 18th of February.
Is it? I don't even know. Okay, cool.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, awesome. Yeah. Happy Feelings February, brother.
Happy Feelings February, guys. This is technically like the third year in a row we've done this. The first year was kind of on accident. Mm-hmm. The month of February, we just kind of get some sappy, feel-goody, lovey, very, very sad and torturous things sometimes, and we just shove them all into February.
Yeah, and this episode we're going to be covering Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 3, Ultra Romantic.
Ultra Romantic.
Let me tell you that we're not fucking around with that title.
Bro, I love this so much. I cried, I laughed, I was giddy with glee. It made me envious of these high school children. My girlfriend would walk into the room. I'm like, why aren't you like that with me? This is upsetting.
Yeah, we need to do better. We need to get our crown, King. Get your crown.
Get my crown. Get my crown.
But I was gonna say too, like, for the people just showing up right now, Kaguya-sama. You know, we follow Kaguya, we follow Miyuki, who are never ending just playing games with each other. They both love each other, but they're too prideful to say to one another. So everything in between all that is just gag after gag of putting them in like awkward situations or like putting them up like on the leading board as the narrator tells.
It has the episode structure of like old Cartoon Network animated shows where like every blocked 23 episode is like actually 2 mini episodes or 2 or 3 mini episode sections into it, right? And like you were saying, the love is war part is that like if you're the first one to confess your feelings, then you've lost the war. Yeah. And that means the other person has like a leg up on you and they can like manipulate you or like...
And it's a strong word to say, but I don't know.
I guess it's the argument that like the person that likes the other person more in the relationship in this show like is more vulnerable or like more likely to get hurt almost.
So yeah, like those TikToks of like my wife cheated on me and left. I guess I won the I love her more game. Oh God. But this is not that. This is not that.
Ultra Romantic is exciting. It's amazing. Yeah. It's like A1 Pictures #1. A1 Pictures has produced like your favorite things ever. I think they're also the parent company of Studio Cloverworks. Like A1 Pictures has done everything I could ever think of. So it's Kaguya-sama, Sword Art Online. It's part of Darling in the Franxx. They just like any high quality or like semi big anime that's come out in the past like 10 years that's not produced by like Studio Mappa or Studio Madhouse has probably been done by A1 Pictures. Like Ace Attorney, I'm thinking of the Asterisk War, I'm thinking of Gate working, like the 7 Deadly Sins. People love the 7 Deadly Sins, even though I think it's bad anime. But like this being the 3rd season of Kaguya-sama, and they're shorter seasons, you know what I mean? Like
13 episodes.
13 episode seasons that all come out like 2 years apart. So like nobody that started watching Kaguya-sama at its inception is still in high school.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So and I thought that was an interesting point because like a lot of like when people complain about like watching anime, like how are you watching these high school kids do this and that? Nobody's in high school watching this still. Correct. Right? Like unless you just picked it up like last year.
And This hasn't happened in a while, but we were watching it almost at the same time.
It's never happened. I literally can't remember the last time that's happened.
I don't know, but like you were on Twitter, I was on Twitter.
Geeking.
I was just geeking of like all the music references, like Western pop culture like references.
Dude, there's a Persona 5 reference. I was dying of laughter. It was so funny.
I love the more little culty ones, like the reference to like the Resident Evil games during the culture festival.
Oh yeah.
The Blair's Witch.
I didn't catch that one.
You didn't catch
I don't know what you were talking about.
Before they head into like the haunted house, because it's near like October, and I'm sorry we were jumping a little bit, but this is towards the end. But like it's during October, so they have a they have a haunted house, and they show, I can't remember what character it is. It might have been Miko, and she's like, I don't want to go. I'm scared. But the image is animated through the reference of the Blair Witch Project, where she has a camera close to her, and she's like, "Oh my god, what is that?"
What made me really, really laugh about that episode, which again, that's like episode 10, is that they're making fun of like ASMR videos and people that get like tingles from stuff like that. I thought it was so funny. Yeah. So like the whole thing's a sitcom. Like I'm telling you, it reminded me of How I Met Your Mother. It reminds me of Friends. It reminds me of like loosely like the live action mockumentary sitcoms. I'm thinking of like early The Office. I'm thinking of what's the one where they worked in like a local government? The Parks and Recreation. Scrubs. It reminds me of Scrubs a little bit. Like it's like it's about a student council, but what I love about it treating like this sitcom dynamic is like, obviously our two main characters are the two in love, the one having the love is war bit, but then you get those odd episodes where like characters that don't normally interact get like a whole episode together, and you're like, oh, I'd never thought about that dynamic before. It's actually really funny.
Yeah, and then not even just, they don't just throw them in episodes. We've been following these characters in season 1.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
And they so subtly grew on you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because even somebody as Chica, who...
This is probably Chica's worst season. I'd argue.
Think so?
This is like the least amount of laughs, or at least from me, that like this is the least amount of times I've laughed from like Chica in a season. The tail half of this season, Chica's the one with pink hair that like has the dance that was like meme to death, like when season 1 first came out. She they basically, there's a subplot to remove her from the plot in the last like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yes, and I could disagree a little bit with that, because I feel like...
You're disagreeing with me. What do you mean? Whoa.
It's not always rainbows and butterflies.
Hey, Feelings February?
Feelings February? Not gonna allow Drew to step on my feelings.
Wow.
My opinions.
Breaking my heart early.
And, but anyways, Chica, throughout this 2 seasons, I believe, the conversation around her was mostly like,
3.
just like the gaggy... Yeah, no, I know. Like at least in the first 2 seasons.
Oh,
at least in the first 2 seasons, the conversation around her was just like, it's like this throwaway character. Obviously they had to have
the comedic relief.
The comedic relief. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in season 3, they go as far as giving her more dance, making her more dense. Which I think so. Like when she is talking and not just fucking training Miyuki in something.
But those are my favorite episodes.
Yes, I know, I get it. But like in some of them, like she's talking to him. Like even when they talk about you or Ishigami and stuff, like she's like, well, you know what? I love that.
She's like her dumb child. He's like her dumb child.
Yes. And I love the fucking episode with the subjective opinions that you have of people.
Oh, that shit's mean.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that episode made me think most like I'm Chica. Because that sounds like something I would do. Like I accidentally am too critical of people all the time, but then someone would be like, "Well, maybe you should look at yourself." I'm like, "I'm perfect. I don't know about y'all, but
it doesn't work with you."
Oh yeah, obviously, It doesn't relate to this half of the table.
Exactly. So so I think it was nice for them. It was a good direction to not make her be the comedic relief anymore.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, she's not as funny anymore. But, like, the episodes, like, some of the episodes, I was just dying of laughter. Like, the episode of her teaching Miyuki how to rap is, like, the funniest singular episode of an anime I've seen since, like, season 1 of Konosuba.
Season 1 Konosuba was pretty funny. You did tweeted that. I voted for Kaguya-sama because
Kaguya-sama won the poll.
Because, man, like even at these moments of like cringe, I find myself like just like laughing quietly to myself.
It like we were comparing off mic before we started recording, like the difference between the sub and the dub. I had totally forgotten that I watched like the first third of this season as it was coming out in its original playthrough, so early last year. And I'd already seen like the first 4 episodes. I watched them as sub. I watched this through this whole watch through I did as the English dub. And honestly, it might be the best English dub of any anime, but you were saying that you had the opposite experience this week.
Well, no, I didn't have the opposite experience. I changed it because I have more fun watching the sub.
Right.
For some reason, don't get me wrong, the voices are okay. Ishigami's voice in the dub is kind of crazy. But
he's just emo. He's you guys just don't want to go over there. I don't want to go over there. I'm emo. I'm Ishigami.
Yeah. So kind of like but like in the sub, you can't really tell that because obviously I don't know like dialect, in Japanese.
Yeah.
So like I just hear voices.
Yeah.
And I can make it up in my head.
And like the dialect was a big part of it for me. I didn't even realize that some of these characters had accents.
Yeah.
And like me watching it as a sitcom, a big part of sitcom and why people don't like sitcoms, especially like early 2000 sitcoms, like laugh tracks and like the audience getting cues on when to laugh and what is a joke. But like I felt like me watching it as the dub, that made it funnier for me because like I hear that American English inflection on where the joke is, and I'm like like just like a knee slapper, like that was good delivery.
Yeah, absolutely, and the timing is good, and even man. In season 2, we left off with a finishing year, right?
I didn't even remember what the end of season 2 was.
We finished the year, and like they both lost at the end. Kaguya and Miyuki, both losers in this episode. And then whatever, we keep going in this new year, this junior year, American New Year's year.
It's their second year of high school. There's only 3 years of high school in Japan, so it's like 11th grade.
Correct. Yes. So it starts off really, really fun.
Well, what I thought was really funny too is like I feel like I got a better sense of like how Japanese school years actually fit into American school years, because I always get confused watching anime like that. But then like halfway through the season, like they're talking about there's 2 characters talking about watching cherry blossoms together and just like, oh, but like that'll be when you graduate in April. Oh, I'm going to transfer to an American college, but they do it this time of year, which is early fall. And I'm like, like, so there's like a 5-month difference that I never realized in 25, 30 years of watching anime between like American high school and like
you have to leave pack and then go.
Yeah. And I never got that.
Yeah. And I know what my point was when you were tweeting about How I Met Your Mother. I was thinking about Friends and How I Met Your Mother, because at this point, it almost feels like it's not gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? Because I have PTSD and I can tell
like they hit a stalemate almost.
Yeah, exactly, from what you've told me about Rent a Girlfriend. It's just stagnant. And I was like, man, what if this ends up being like a fall of obsession kind of like dynamic because there were some moments in the season, and especially early in the season, when they're like starting to hate things about each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow, is this going to be like a, I don't know.
Oh, he can't sing. Oh, he's not strong.
Exactly.
Oh, he's so anal. His eyes are always tired. Like he's kind of poor.
Yeah. So I think it was going to be a fall of like obsession, like a failed obsession. Like, oh, I was so infatuated with this person that I didn't really know, but now that I know them, like they were right.
Yeah.
Like they're just my friends now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kind of tricked me into thinking like that. And that's the only reason I thought like How I Met Your Mother and Friends. And I was like, I bet Drew's loving this. Not like 30 minutes later, I checked Twitter and you're like, this reminds me of How I Met Your Mother.
It reminds me of How I Met Your Mother in a way that's like it's the character dynamic writing that I'm talking about. So like whenever you get episodes between like Kaguya or Ishigami, which is like a dynamic I never would have considered ever, like the emo treasurer the vice president who's like one of the richest people in the country, but like their dynamic is so funny because it's like an 80s action montage of like you're the best, right? Like you almost expect it, like like some 80s action montage, and like they're just studying and studying and studying, and like you see them beating each other, you see like him like yelling at himself about his grades and not being active enough, and he's doing it entirely to try to impress a girl, which that's another thing about like the Japanese schooling system that I think Japanese schooling, you're cool as fuck if you're in student council. Opposite effect in El Paso high schools is my experience. Or if you're like the smartest kid in class, you're the coolest kid in class. Again, opposite experience for me.
Yeah, hey, it's gonna be wild, you know. But go ahead.
The one thing, like, so I'm dying of laughter. I'm watching this 80s action montage about like Ishigami receiving tutoring from Kaguya. And like out of nowhere, this is like episode 3, episode 4, and it's like the second part, this second episode piece of like episode 3. It like I got sad. I got genuinely sad, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I'm giggling, I'm having a bunch of fun, but it's like the first time Ted Mosby got broken up with in How I Met Your Mother. Like all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, this isn't fun anymore. This hurts. Like him not even breaking top 50 in his class, even though he busted his ass. Like he immediately excuses himself. Like you think he's he's too cool for school. You know what I mean? And he just asks Kaguya to excuse himself. He goes to the bathroom and he's frustrated. He's crying. He is knocking his hands on the sink. You expect him to break a mirror. And then, like, Kaguya, this upstanding Japanese, like, socialite, like, rich woman, like, walks in the bathroom. She's like, fucking knew it. I knew you cared. Stop acting like you don't care. And like, going from, like, these high highs to, like, not lows, not like a narrative low. It's still a narrative high, but, like a feeling low. Like it made me feel
failure. A small failure.
It's just good writing. You know what I mean? It's just excellent writing the whole way around. Like even hearing the parts you were talking about earlier about Chika like berating the president and being like, he's so bad at everything. He's so you those episodes are juxtaposed to her sister, who's like wide-eyed and has this fresh impression of the president, meeting him for the first time. She's like, you don't want to be with him. He's really smart, but he's really socially dumb. But he tries his best to be like smart and likable in public.
But he doesn't do good.
But he doesn't do good. Well, but he tries his best all the time, and he's really bad at arts and crafts. But he's really bad at singing. But he works on it all the time, and we've worked on his pitch. He's really bad at sports. But after like a week of busting his ass, he got halfway decent. What do you mean? These are all good things. You're saying like he's a hard worker who cares.
It's like when they ask you like, what's your biggest flaw or what's your flaw or something like that. You would say something negative.
I care too much.
Yeah, yeah, some shit like that. But also they take Kaguya-sama's writing, and it's been ongoing, like first season, second season, and on the third one again. That they take these emotions and they stretch them. They blow them up and they stretch them, because there's an episode where Ishigami has this total like negative toxic relationship with Miko, a member, the treasurer of the. She's
also like the president of like the disciplinary committee at school.
Correct. So she's very tight
she's a
ass.
Prude. Yeah, tight ass. Yeah.
And Ishigami's so laid back, so she hates him for being so laid back, and she hates her for being so like tight ass. So there's this episode when she comes into the student council room, has her phone, and she's playing music on her headphones, but she doesn't plug in her phone all the way, and Ishigami,
like an old like auxiliary cords.
Yeah, old auxiliary cords. Yeah, and Ishigami is listening to what she's listening to. She goes from like nice
ocean breeze, forest, like
to like weird camel noises, to weird animal noises, and then to like I guess an album track. They name like Pretty Boys Giving You Confidence or something like that.
So it's just dudes in her ear being like,
"You got this, baby." Yeah, it's like you got this, baby. It's like, you are the best woman ever. You look so pretty today.
Don't worry about everybody else. You're doing your best.
But it's continuous. Like, look how good you're doing. Look.
But he's trying to save her from cringe.
Correct.
Because other people are walking to the student council room at that same time.
Exactly. Now Ishigami is in like this war inside of him, and he's like,
full-blown panic mode. Like, I gotta save my friends.
I need to do something before they realize she's cringe and nobody likes her. She barely has friends. Oh my god. And then what do I do?
Like, that's literally a conversation with himself. He's like, she already doesn't have any friends. Yeah. Like, I can't let everybody else know she's weird.
Yeah, and then so Ishigami goes and gets his headphones, and puts him on, and he intentionally doesn't plug him in all the way, and he starts listening to like super like pop idol kind of music.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, just J-pop. Yeah.
J-pop, and and the episode, even as they stretch all these feelings of like I should do something for my friend. I don't even know what you would call that. To
empathy, all day.
No, not empathy, but like yeah, of course he's being empathetic, but like. I don't know. How do you? There needs to be a word for like saving your friend from cringe.
There needs to be a word for saving your friend from cringe. So that would be make up a word. We're dubbing a word right now in Between Nerds podcast, and we're gonna submit it to Webster's dictionary.
I don't know. He's trying to Teflon her from cringe or something. I don't know.
Cringeation.
Yeah. Cringe extraction.
Cringe extraction. There we go.
And so he comes out with this plan, and he gets embarrassed by everybody. Like, what are you listening, dude? It's like, oh, and then in his head, while he's getting like judged by this music that he's listening to, he's like, okay, now by me doing this,
she's smart enough to realize that, hey, I should check my own headphones so that I don't do the same thing.
But she doesn't, and then everybody still berates her. But then at the end of the game, at the end of the episode, Ishigami's concerns were defaulted because they're not gonna just hate her for listening to cringy shit.
Yeah, it's like Aldo does cringe shit all the time. It's still my boy, you know what I mean? Mean example. You're not as cringe as you could be.
I could be more cringe.
You could be more cringe, and I appreciate you for that. It like that same thing, like the cringy parts of Kaguya-sama Love is War is like some of the funniest bits. There's like a whole sub-episode plot where they're just playing Chigawa or Chigawa. Chika is the president. I said Chigawa because her last name's Fujiwara.
Yeah.
So Chika is also in the tabletop gaming club, right? So like, there's whole episodes sometimes where she'll just walk in the room. We're like, we're playing a game, everybody.
But just
we're like, game episode. Yeah,
but just for her to win. Yeah.
But the first one of this season is her just being like, we're gonna do arm wrestling, everybody, and like right away she's cheating. She's leveraging, like grabbing the people. She's grabbing the president on his fingers and not on his palm, which is leveraging him. But then the funniest bit is that like they do it like a bracket system, so it's like a knockout tournament. So the end, it's Kaguya and the president, and they're doing it, and like they animate it like, oh my god, it's one superpower against the other superpower, neither side is budging,
and everybody's just like, oh, wind on the back. Just like,
it's like Dragon Ball Energy Blast. Oh no, Goku's like powering up. What's going on?
Yeah.
But then it just it cuts to like their inner monologues, and it's them two just like geeking and gushing because like they're touching each other's hands.
I just need to hold this a little bit longer and not embarrass her. Like this is the president talking. He's like, I'm just not gonna embarrass her. I just need to hold a little bit longer. And
her hands are so soft.
Her hands are so soft. And then Kaguya's like, oh man, this is so awesome. It's like I just need to stay here for a little bit, and in a minute I will gracefully default. And like I will gracefully lose. And to give it because I don't want to embarrass him either.
Right, but then she also is like they're both insecure, which is why it's Love is War, but she's more insecure, which is the whole plot and why it's named after her. So like the second she gets in her head and she's like, wait, I've been holding his hand for too long. He's gonna realize I have a crush on him and he's gonna make fun of me for it. And she just like slams his head down.
No,
like
they do that close up to her hands, and her hands is
sweating.
It's sweating. It's when she's like, oh, is that my sweaty hand? And as soon as that happens, they cut to the president, and he's still like all gushing on it. And then I don't know where he's like disappears from frame because he too strongly Kaguya freaked out and like just like beat his ass.
Yeah,
which was hilarious. And also I love like the first one with Ishigami and Shika, where Shika was still cheating, but like Ishigami was like, how strong can she be? She can't be that strong. I can probably beat her. And like he gets like plummet and I like that like there's an explanation for everything. Like it's like the narrator will even be like, there's 15 pounds per square inch of force on her bow, and Kaguya has been using the bow since she was like 8 years old or something. So she has muscle memory,
so she's got like crazy strength in her arm because like the actual like it's a traditional Japanese bow. She's in the archery club. All that stuff. It like even new characters that are they're kind of continuation of old characters. So like there's this ongoing subplot that Chika and Kaguya have in the first 2 seasons, where they're giving advice to a girl that thinks her boyfriend is cheating on her.
Correct.
But in this one, we get the opposite side of that. It's like the other girl in this triangle relationship who ends up being like Kaguya's distant cousin, kind of like their second cousin.
Like it. Even Vinay asked me, he's like, "Is that her sister?" I'm like, "No."
Well, it says second cousins.
Yeah,
but it's like what I've explained about like branch families in Japanese society. So like, Kaguya's in the main Shinomiya branch, but then there's like sub branch households. It's like a fruits basket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like that. But so then, like, she calls her auntie, and, like, her and Kaguya don't get along. But then she walks into the club room to get advice from two of the biggest virgins at the school, who's Miyuki, the club president, and Ishigami, like, the nerdy, emo treasurer.
Correct.
And they're just serving her tea, and she's super mean. But then, like, Ishigami almost has, like, this, like... it almost like kind of alludes like he's kind of got like a fetish or like thing for girls that like maybe are like strong-willed and put him down for a little bit because like she's just like berating him, make me tea, spills her tea out of being nervous, make me more tea, slave, and he's just like, oh yeah, like
yeah. And and then after that, just episodes like here at the beginning that I do want to talk about. It's the singing one, because the singing one starts off really weird because we have had an episode where what's the president's name? Miyuki. When Miyuki like sings, he's like really ugly at singing, and they animate him so like funny because it looks like a zombie.
The first time we saw that is for like the school motto or anthem, whatever it is. Right. Like Chika has to like coach him because he's the student body president. So like it's almost embarrassing if he can't sing it properly. He can't lead the song.
Correct.
So like she's actually got to teach him tone and pitch and like how to keep a rhythm and
it's hilarious, man, because the president gets invited to a group date.
Yes.
In a karaoke
bar. Yeah, it's a social.
And it's cool because he's not even worried about not singing. He's like, I'll probably sing.
I'm for sure gonna sing. Yeah.
And like he gets invited, he not knowing that it was gonna be a group date. But then Kaguya finds out about this, and again sends her maid. What's her name? She sends to go try to take care of the president and not get hit on.
Hayasaka.
But then, like, Hayasaka goes into, like, hey, I never finished my first mission, which was to
try to seduce the president to see if he's actually secretly a man whore, and, like, Kaguya doesn't, like, he doesn't deserve Kaguya because he's kind of got a player in him.
So here I go. And she gets, like, a karaoke suite.
She puts in colored contacts. Yeah. She does her hair.
She takes off her jacket.
She blocks the window. Well, honestly, that whole episode's kind of, like, maturely written. I thought it was pretty legit how they wrote it because, like, she's the hottest girl at this social, which is, like, multiple schools together. And, like, in either the first or second season, she had gone on a, air quotes, date with the president to try to seduce him, to try to get him to, like, air quotes, cheat on Kaguya, to try to prove that, but, like, he kind of, like, puts her down politely. And so he walks in there, he's like, hey, I know you, we went on this date together. And then she tries to act coy and plays it off, and all the other guys are like, yo, bro, you pissed off the hot chick, what's going on? She's like, no, he didn't do anything wrong, he just rejected me when I tried to take him on a date a year ago.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa,
bro, I didn't know you had it like that. Yeah. Whoa, saucy. And then again, like, the other dudes are trying to hit her up, and he's just a nice guy. Like, that's the thing about Miyuki. Like, he's just like, he has every opportunity the whole season to just, like, either just drop Kaguya, take advantage of her, take advantage of her maid, and he just doesn't do that. Like, he sees that she's uncomfortable and is getting harassed, and she's just like, okay, let's get out of here. Her still trying to do this secret mission is like, yeah, we're gonna book our own secret karaoke room, and we're gonna do lewd things, and I'm gonna cover the door with my jacket so that people can't peer in.
And then also when our time, we spend what per season? Would I be wrong to say that we spend maybe 35% in the console room, in the student console room?
First two seasons, yeah.
Right? And then so I'm just gonna point this out because it makes so much sense at the end. Like, they usually animate the president at his desk working, and he's obviously tired, obviously busy on something, obviously with his head somewhere else.
Him having tired eyes is like part of his character design.
Correct. Yeah. I hate his dad's face.
His dad is so ugly, but I think that's purposely so. Like, the dad is like literally the most often, like, he's the biggest mainstay of all the adult characters. There's maybe like 2, 3 maybe 4 adults in the entirety of Kaguya-sama Love is War, the anime adaptation. The dad's the only one that's a reoccurring character, besides maybe the dean of like the school, I guess. Principal. But he's in like 30 seconds total. Yeah. The dad has whole plots around him.
Correct. And some other games where Chica, they want to play the 10 yen coin.
But before you move on from the dad, before I forget about like the funniest part with the dad this season is in a previous season, I think it was season 2, at the sports festival episode, he found out that Kaguya had like a crush on his son. So now every time he sees her, he's like poking fun of her.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you doing to be a good wife for my son today?"
Hey, future daughter-in-law, what's going on? Like, and she's like, "Stop it!
Just
like,
saying outlandish shit.
just basically just flat out harassing her.
Yeah.
I think he brings up like her body at one point that makes her uncomfortable. He's like, "Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't say that about my future daughter-in-law." It like, he is a sweet dude too, because again, like. The thing about the Kaguya being a Shinomiya, it's a really rich, really powerful household. Her parents are too busy to show up to the parent-teacher conferences.
It's the foil thing.
Yeah, it's the foil thing. So, like, she's sad, trying to act like a hard-ass, being like, no, my dad's probably not going to show up to the parent-teacher career counseling thing that they do.
I get it. He's at work.
He's at work. It's not my fault. And then her maid's mom shows up. And, like, again, she's a different character that's part of like one of the branch families, and that's why she works for the main Shinomiya household. And the mom's like, "Oh, I can sit in with you, don't worry about it." But then like senior Shirogane, like Miyuki's dad, shows up, and that's when he like harasses her, and then he's just like, "Oh shit, like this is real, like your parents aren't going to show up, I'll sit in with you, don't worry about it."
Yeah, it's like, why wouldn't I sit next to my future daughter-in-law?
I want to hear all about your future career.
Exactly. And man, just this little breadcrumbs, stupid.
Yeah, it's just all gag. Here's 60 seconds of something really serious happening.
Absolutely. God, it's so good because.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry.
You didn't cry? I cried.
But I was like.
I cried like tears of joy. It was super weird. It was super strange.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I did get teary-eyed, but I didn't cry. I didn't shed a tear. But I was like, I was watching with my girlfriend, and we both like out loud said like, "Aww," you know what I'm saying?
I think it's because like I was trying to finish it while Karen was at work. You know what I mean? So I didn't have anybody to like talk about it. It was just like me and my dogs in bed, like trying to watch this like super sappy anime. And like 2/3 of the way through the season, the whole like plot structure changes. It goes from like being a sitcom to actually being like a start to finish romance story.
Absolutely.
What?
Go ahead.
No, and all I was gonna say is like I remember when that tonal change happened, I was upset at first. I was like, bring back the jokes. What the fuck is this? And then like 3 episodes into that, I'm like, oh my god!
Oh. No, dude, it's because, god damn, and like the last 4 episodes is like.
It's like 5. It's like 10 through 13.
Yeah, right. Like last 5 episodes, it's just like the ending of Titan is like, this is the final part 2 or part 3.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And like the episode titles are even good because it's like Kaguya-sama wants to confess, Ishigami wants to confess, culture festival part 1, cultural festival part 2.
Yeah.
And
Dual Confessions part 1 and 2.
And holy shit, right here with a parent teacher conference, like, you know, they go through everybody's like what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot more of like a flushed out story than I thought it would be. Like,
absolutely.
Like even the episode early on in the season about like the career counseling, that plot line is actually super important by the end, and like you don't realize it at the time.
Absolutely.
It's like that real foreshadowing. Like it's like when people talk about One Piece and they're like, this was foreshadowed in chapter 200 and we're on chapter 1050.
But it's in your face. It's in your face. And
how did I not get that? Like it was so obvious. They're in fucking high school. Duh.
Exactly. So they're going through like everybody's like future goals and stuff like that. So Ichigami's like, you know what? I made my decision. I want to go to Stanford. You know what I'm saying?
Why Stanford?
I don't know. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. I don't know.
I think this is like a conversation me and you had like off mic the other day. Just like why does like the Boston area have like some of the most culturally ignorant people, but has like some of the best schools, like MIT, Stanford,
There's
like
no
Boston
people.
University.
There's no Boston people at Harvard.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm just playing. I don't know if you are, but if you are,
we just.
but if you are, follow us on YouTube. We'll talk about your life that we're not a part of. You can look at the middle class.
Is Stanford the best California university? Would you say?
Maybe
More than UCLA, maybe.
Yeah. UCLA is something more like a UTEP kind of.
UCLA was part of that.
It's like the state's university. It's not like the prestige.
UCLA is hard to get into. It was part of that controversy where like a bunch of people, including actors, went to prison because they were paying people to like get their kids into UCLA, and that was the joke. It's like you paid your people to get into a state university in California. That's a fucking joke.
And this would have meant a lot more to us if we would have known the start and finish of a Japanese high school life and the beginning of like a American university life.
Yeah,
because here. I got the sense of like, oh, they're probably gonna drag this out till next year,
right?
Because I was like, oh, he's definitely gonna move abroad,
right? So
this is the decision of like, is he gonna stay for her or is she gonna go for him?
I almost forgot about that as soon as it happened. Like they brought up Stanford, and then next episode started. I was like, oh, whatever. Like,
absolutely. And now we're in the talks of like the last festival of the year.
The fall festival.
No, it's a culture festival, fall festival kind of thing.
Yeah, October. Like in October, which like for their school year starts in like April though. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, but they have like 2 months of like winter break, I think.
At the end of the semester,
right?
I don't know. It's confusing. Anyways, it's real good stuff. I forget the point we were trying to make. I think I cut you off.
No. You were talking about
something I really did want to bring up is like I wish we'd watched this a week sooner because we did our mock draft of the anime awards and we fucked up like bad.
I was gonna bring this up too
because we completely like one of the things was like best OP, right? And the Kaguya-sama ultra romantic outro was one of the nominations, and we completely blew it off because we hadn't seen it. And like, holy shit, like it's literally outro of the year.
Yeah, it's really good, man.
It's like an entire like sci-fi plot.
No, yeah, because I feel like so the outro is kind of crazy because it shows the president over a old-timey plane, which makes me think
he's like on a farm or something.
Which makes me think because at the end of the outro, Kaguya, I think, wakes him up at a cafe and like, hey, you fell asleep while studying or something because he has books in front of him.
Yeah.
I'm like, so he's probably studying about like the first planes and stuff like that.
Okay.
But then that dream of him being next to this plane turns into like Battlestar Galactica.
It's so tight. Yeah. And all the sub characters are in there.
Yeah. And they're like, come on, get up, dude, blah blah blah, and they're fighting aliens. And
Chica's wearing a bald wig.
Correct. And then
a bald cap.
The president's trying to save like Angel looking like Kaguya.
So Kaguya is like an angel alien thing, and they're trying to invade Earth. Yeah. So then like everyone else is Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. So then they gotta send the president in there to go fight the princess. But then like the ending's so sweet because like again, it's his dream is that all he wants to do is just grab this hard ass like evil mean princess and just kiss her on the stupid face. And save like humanity. Yeah.
It was really fucking good.
I can't even remember the song. I just remember that it fit perfectly.
No, like, it does.
Like there's explosions happening. The music. Like I can't even remember what instruments it is.
Did you see the rap one?
Yes, there's one really separate outro. It's after the episode where Chika teaches him how to rap. No. There's like two episodes about rapping. There's one where she teaches him to rap. There's another one where they rap at Hayasaka in the middle of a park. And then the outro is Chika and the president as like Japanese rappers, like throwing
like at a warehouse
doing it. Thing. Yeah, they're 8-miling it up against each other.
Yeah,
and like that episode where they rap at Hayasaka in the park is hilarious. So it's a continuation. That's also a continuation of the plotline where like she kind of confesses to the president inside of the secret karaoke room, like, "Hey, look, I'm doing this for Kaguya. I don't know why I'm doing this." Like, and she's real with him. Like their whole conversation is about. Stop acting in front of people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because
the front down.
Yeah, because like Hayasaka trying to be like a mean girl at him is like, you act like you're such a goody two shoes and like you're so perfect and you're so neat and you put up this front in front of everybody and you do that because you're a poor kid at a rich kid's school and that's why you think you need to have the best fucking grades. And he's like, whoa, I'm just a nice dude. And, and then he breaks down. But then like that's what like gets her to open up, because when the first episode where they're locked into the room, we don't know what's going on inside the room. All we get is Kaguya's perspective, where she's on like a two-way radio with Hayasuka and be like, Hayasuka, pick up. You're in the room with the president, right? Pick up.
Please stop.
Stop kissing him.
Please stop. Like,
on one side of the mic is her being like, oh my God, I can't take anymore, Mr. President.
Oh, I could do this all night.
Oh no, I can't do it anymore.
I was just like running, like, oh no.
She wouldn't really fucking, would she?
Yeah, dude. And like you said, it's. I forget that they're high school. I forget that they're in high school.
Well, it's funny though, because like everyone is really innocent though.
Correct. Yeah. So the reason why that conversation was happening on the other side of the mic or the walkie-talkie thing is because obviously Mr. President was able to start singing and show his real self, and he sucks at singing.
Yeah. He was so quick to put down like his force field, his fake personality, and all it is that he's actually a terrible rapper / singer, but he loves rapping, singing.
He likes it. Yeah.
It's like his favorite hobby.
He knows the ins and outs about it, but he can execute it.
Right, absolutely. So then like the continuated episode where we get what actually happened in there is her kind of like half spilling the beans about Kaguya, half not. Like he does kind of get that like that Hayasuka is Kaguya's maid, and like she kind of spills that there's an ulterior motive, but not really, because she doesn't want to embarrass Kaguya like that at the same instance. But then, oh my God, like the first time I was just like dying of laughter. It was so fucking funny. Was that Kaguya told Hayasuka that if Chika spent the night for a little sleepover, that Chika could not know that Hayasuka, who goes to their school, is actually her live-in maid. So she has Hayasuka dress up as a boy butler to greet her. And not only that, like, she kind of, like, keeps half... It's when it's that joke about a lie. You keep having to continue with the lie, and the lie gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. So it's like, oh, you know the president, Hayasuka? Yeah, I know Hayasuka. Me and him text all the time. Oh, I didn't know the president swung that way. I identify as a woman. Oh my God, the president is so progressive. That's so good of him. Yeah. And then like she like you hear Hayasuka talk about, oh yeah, we were in a karaoke room together. Oh my God, and like she's like. It's that anime joke about like if your blood pressure's high enough from like being horny, like you're gonna get a nosebleed. Yeah. So she's just like, oh my God, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. Just hearing that like a trans man and the president might be hooking up, like she thinks that's hot, so she immediately excuses herself to the bathroom.
Oh my God, she's still bleeding. She's like still thinking about it. She's like, oh my God.
She's in the bathroom like dying of blood loss. Like, oh my God. Like every time she tries to stand up, she's like, okay, I got it. Hayasuka and the president. Hayasuka and the president.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love. It's so cringy to watch like Shika and the president just like angrily walking in circles, just rapping.
Yeah,
like,
so
rap.
So that scene is about like using the power of hip hop to
express yourself,
to express yourself correctly. So that's why they corner Hayasuka at the park. It like even the scenery, it's shaped like a turntable. Like the park is rounded, so you see it be like chicka chicka. Like so they're like Chica's
bring
like
it back, Chica. And then and then like he starts rapping. He's rapping good because now. Not only did Chika have to get good at rapping, now that she got good at rapping,
she could teach him how to rap.
She could teach how to rap because she doesn't want to hear him rap ever again.
Badly, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of like they're throwing at her face
hey,
like,
yo,
hey,
be a real version of yourself.
Correct.
You don't gotta know what.
Like, don't worry about people saying da 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 da. Hey, yo, fuck that.
Yeah, but it's just like Chica's dumbass with a backwards cap on, just beatboxing.
Yeah. Like those old school bonnets.
Oh
like
my God.
Adidas bonnets. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
It's so, and that episode is also downright hilarious because, again, Kaguya has like this insecure thought that Hayasuka is actually trying to steal the president. And so she follows her to the park and is watching these dumbasses in the middle of a public setting rap at each other. And she's just like, it's the cringest thing possible. And it's not really that Hayasuka is trying to get Kaguya and the president together. So she like brings Kaguya into the mix, and like then Kaguya starts rapping as well.
Yeah, because they're not listening to her if she's not rapping.
Right.
Thing. It's like fucking,
hey, yo, you gotta say it in rhyme, or
yeah. What's the Def Jams?
Yeah. Some Yo MTV raps on this bitch.
And no, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Oh god,
and that's
so
where
funny.
that outro comes from. The super warehousey 8 Mile.
It is funny though because like on one side it's the boys, right? Like it's Ishigami and Miyuki, and they're breakdancing and like they're in hoodies and like, but on the other one it's just like Chica again in her backwards cap, just like she's the Eminem in this picture, I guess.
Yeah.
It's so stupid funny.
But as far as learning something new, why don't you guys learn to subscribe to the channel?
Hey, housekeeping notes. I almost forgot.
YouTube, please comment, subscribe. If you leave a comment, you'll be entering our giveaway. We do have a winner that we haven't touched on from last month.
He never messaged us back, so we're just gonna move on.
Okay,
but
cool
so by the time this episode comes out, the January giveaway will be over, which means that the next episode, which is going to be Gundam: The Witch from Mercury, then we'll announce the winner of the January giveaway because since it's the 27th, people still technically have 3-4 days to enter.
Correct. To enter, yes. But you guys will be listening to this on the February 1st, so please, for February, comment, like, subscribe on YouTube. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what you don't like. I mean, I know you guys don't like our opinions, but please tell us of how much you guys don't like our opinions.
Honestly, this comment section and this NerdDown is gonna be lit. Y'all, yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. It's so stupidly funny.
I love that the NerdDown progressively is getting beefier.
Oh, it's great. You know? It's what you always wanted the NerdDown to be. I know. Like after 3 years, we've finally gotten to the point that the NerdDown is what you envisioned it would be.
Correct.
Sort of.
Thank you.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's almost there. It's almost there.
We're in this wash of comments. You know what I mean?
Yes,
yes. Eventually we'll get to the point that we can actually answer all of them in one episode. Wait till we get more organized.
But also,
please.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Between Nerds. On TikTok, TikTok likes our videos. They give us the average all the time. So thank you for that. The algorithm on YouTube still doesn't like us. We did use the word cancel on a short, which didn't work out.
Honestly, listen. Audience, listen.
Andrew Tate. We used lizard people.
Right. We mentioned canceling one time in a title of a video
and
about
buried it.
About Kevin Spacey. Then our next 3 clips absolutely bombed. Like we can see if it even puts it on the YouTube Shorts feed. That's the essential. That's like essentially TikTok not putting your video on the For You page.
Yeah.
And like they straight up just did not put it on the YouTube Shorts page because we put canceling in the title. And then after that, like we start getting recommended in searches about Andrew Tate and like all this other. I don't want to be associated with Andrew Tate. I hate Andrew Tate.
Bottom G.
I hate people that like Andrew Tate.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, please email us at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com for any anonymous comments you want. If you want to be kept anonymous, but you want to say something about the podcast, or you want to give us a reference, or you have some deep feelings about our opinions on your favorite anime, please just email us at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com. Podcast platforms, audio platforms. We're always there. We're all in every single one of them.
I can tell the days that we get suggested a bunch on not Spotify. What am I thinking? Not Apple Podcasts. Pandora. Yeah. Because randomly we'll just get an episode with like hundreds of downloads. I'm like, where'd that come from? And then I check the Pandora downloads. I'm like, oh, that was Pandora.
And if you guys can, all our only audio listeners, pop into YouTube, hit us up. I do understand that Spotify is also allowing videos, so we have to check that out too. So if you don't want to go into YouTube for whatever reason, you don't believe in it, or it's banned in your country, just go ahead and...
You hate Google? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just use Spotify. We'll probably touch on that after this episode. What else am I missing?
I think that's about it for the housekeeping notes. Do you want to play a game real quick?
Sure.
Anyways, this game we're playing, do you want to give us some background on this game we're going to be playing?
Yeah, so for a while around like tech conversations,
yep.
ChatGPT or what the AI chat it's called. The website I believe is OpenAI. The conversation around this is that now people that apply for software engineers can fix software through this AI. They can, if you need to debug something, you just copy the code. It's like, hey, can you debug this for me? Cool. Here we go. Here's the problem. Blah 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 blah. Fix this. Fix this. Fix that.
Hey, we read your code. This is what's wrong.
Absolutely. But not only that, you can have these essays made up. You can have you can make lessons, like school lessons for this.
Right.
Like, it's like, I'm Aldo Mendez. I teach sophomore math. Give me a 10 question exam for this level of math. Boom, 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 boom. It throws it out to you. Not only that, but like you can do pretty much about anything, and you can talk to this. You can teach it. You can guide it.
It's AI. Yeah.
It's wild.
I'd only heard about it on like NPR from they just released like the counter AI to the AI. Mm-hmm. So like I know a lot of teachers and college professors were starting to freak out, being like, I can't tell whether or not this was written by AI, so they made like a counter AI to read on whether or not it was probably created by an AI.
It's what you want like Siri or Alexa to be, but that would be super scary because it's in your house.
Yeah, it's listening to you, and it's already like picking up like auto-generated advertisements based on what you say in front of it. So this is even scarier. So you were teaching this AI how to steal our intellectual property?
Yes, or how to replicate it at least. We're human. How do you sue an AI?
You can't.
Exactly.
So basically you asked it to create a script for the Kaguya-sama Love is War episode today.
Correct. So at first, my initial entries were like, "Hey, Aldo and Drew have a podcast on anime. Give me an idea or something like that." And then it was like, "Oh, Aldo and Drew." And then it was like, "Sorry, I don't know the specifics, but I think this is what you mean." It's like
so you keep having to teach it and teach it.
Yeah. So now I'm like, okay. We also we have a YouTube channel. Give me an idea for an episode of Aldo and Drew who discuss very I use what did I say exactly? I was like, we have a discussion on Kaguya-sama season 3 ultra romantic. So he had that as specific. So that's why he gave us such a specific answer.
Right.
A funny discussion between Aldo and Drew, something like that. And then
it wrote a fucking AP report.
And then I asked her for a premise for that.
Right.
And this is what you have on your screen right now.
Yes. Okay. So it reads, sure, here's a possible episode for Drew and Aldo's YouTube channel about Kaguya-sama Love is War. Title, might actually steal this one. The Art of War, a study of Kaguya-sama's strategic love. Hey, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
Hate it. Scary.
In this episode, Drew and Aldo take a closer look at the strategies and tactics used by the characters in Kaguya-sama Love is War. From Miyuki's calculated moves to Kaguya's
characters.
It
knows the dynamics of the characters.
From Miyuki's calculated move to Kaguya's manipulation, the host will break down the different approaches taken by each character in their quest for love. That was one thing, it's an AI, it obviously doesn't know what it's talking about. There's kind of aren't different approaches, it's the same approach.
Correct. That will be the approach.
How do I get that other person to play chicken first?
Correct.
In the Art of Love. They will also discuss how these strategies reflect real-world dating dynamics and the lengths people will go in order to win the hearts of those they love. Hey, that's I wish I thought of that.
Hey, we brought up our girlfriend. You brought up your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? We talked about our relationship. You know,
we're comparing it to our experiences in American high school. I guess we sort of did that. Okay. Along with this, they will also explain how these strategies are being portrayed in the series and how it is impacting the characters and their relationships with each other.
We talked about I talked about how emotions get stretched and blown out of proportion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How to express yourself through rap.
I think shame is a really, really prevalent theme in Kaguya-sama. This episode will provide a unique perspective on the series and its themes, and is sure to be a hit with fans of Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see if that happens.
Let's see. But it was fun to mess with that.
This is really interesting. I think this is super interesting.
It gets very scary when you watch videos about people that they know what they're doing with it.
Well, remember, like, that week I was obsessed with, like, the AI selfie generator. I thought that thing was so cool. And, like, my parents aren't plugged in, right? They don't know what AI is or what AI is currently being used for. So, like, I posted those on Facebook.
The robots!
I had extended family being like, holy shit, I thought you did, like a film shoot or something, and these were stills from that. I'm just like, no, they're just, like, shopping parts of my face on top of Henry Cavill.
Yeah. And it's what the AI uses. If you have a better AI... and you have more data in its AI that you can just search through all that and connect the dots.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about the real world dating dynamics here, though, and the lengths people will go in order to win the hearts of those they love, the lengths ends up being the entire, like, last plot that we were talking about. Like, when there's a tonal change, there ends up being, like, a whole big brain subplot for somebody to finally win the love is war dynamic. Which I think was absolutely great, and like that was my favorite part of the series. Once that part of the season actually started kicking off and actually started hitting in high gear, I was like, "Holy shit, it might happen!" I think I'd accidentally spoiled myself. I watched a Mother's Basement video, like talking about Kaguya-sama, and like no spoiler warning or anything. He talked about this the perpetrator of this high-powered plan. So I went into the last few episodes knowing how it was going to end. I'm like, oh, god damn it, Jeff Fu, why'd you do that?
Damn.
And he always does that. Like, I like Mother's Basement's video essays so much because he clearly spends so much time writing them, like physically writing, not just like talking off the cuff like we do. Like, he sits down clearly and proofreads his scripts and then actually edits in like whole clips that YouTube will allow him to play. He's gotten in a lot of trouble for playing like clips of different animes and being demonetized and stuff like that. But like sometimes he gets so into his own train of thought, it's like he forgets what's a spoiler and what's not. So I'll spoil it for you guys since you guys are so far into this episode. Or am I jumping the gun too much?
No. No. I mean, we both know. They will know. Hopefully, they watched it by now. If you're new to this channel, Between Nerds, if you just barely started watching our episodes because you looked up Kaguya-sama season 3, if you haven't watched this is us trying to convince you to watch it and also kind of like be careful with this video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because yeah, we are talking about the entirety of this thing, and that's why it's not a 10-minute video. You know, that's why it's not even a 30-minute video. You know what I'm saying?
These are all like 2 hours all of the time.
we spend a week watching this animes. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. It's a good talk. Even before the podcast, we used to talk with Lloyd all the time about, oh, this isn't that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
People hate us at parties. We just end up just like spoiling all their favorite pieces of media. We like, you think our MCU discussions are annoying during the Nerd Downs? You should hear them like when we're both like blind drunk.
We can't stop podcasting even in public.
No, it's the worst. It's the absolute worst. So Miyuki goes full Joker in Persona 5 on this bitch. And I don't know if you remember the plot to Persona 5 at all. I spoiled it all the time during Nerd Downs when I was playing it last year.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
So the plot to Persona 5 is basically you can invade people's consciousnesses and like attack their inner personality and influence their real world decisions.
Okay.
So one of the examples is oh god. It's the first example in Persona 5 and also probably the creepiest example. There is a tennis teacher that is a pedophile. So the Joker and his gang of delinquents being able to summon personas, go into a person's consciousness, like destroy their bad part and like come back into the real world, and they fix that aspect of that person. They invade this tennis coach's consciousness, sees that he's been abusing not only female students like sexually as like a pedophile, but like he's beating the shit out of like male students and like working them to death. He's berating them, like just being an asshole, right? So they fuck up kind of because they go into this person's consciousness, they get him to open up, they make him relive and like feel real guilt for the things he's done. And to do that, to even for someone's consciousness to even be susceptible to be invaded, you have to leave a calling card because you're a phantom thief, right? So that's kind of what like Miyuki ends up doing. He ends up leaving clues and like calling cards around. It's just like, you are gonna be invaded by what? It's the masculine word for, it's the Greek word for masculine.
Ares
or Aris or something like that. Aris or
something like that.
Something like that. So then in Persona 5, that would leave that person's consciousness up to be invaded, and then they invade that person's consciousness. In Persona 5, the way that plotline ends is that guy jumps off of a roof and like almost kills himself. One of his victims also like almost ends up killing herself, feeling such guilt about this guy openly admitting about all the terrible things he's done specifically to her, makes her jump off of the roof to the school.
Okay.
And that's a Persona 5 thing. It has nothing to do with like lovey-dovey Kaguya-sama. So in Kaguya-sama Love is War, an ultra romantic, basically the president, as like a ploy to distract Chica, because Chica's such like a, what's the Spanish word for it? Like somebody that's in somebody else's business?
Chismosa?
Yeah, she's such a chismosa. Like with like a little Peppa. Like whenever like her like Kaguya and the president are like about to be lovey-dovey or about to hit it off, like of course like Chica just bursts through the door being like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like I'm here to just be the third wheel and be the least romantic thing possible in this situation.
Yeah, and even before the festival, we see our president Miyuki actually growing a pair and trying to ask Kaguya-sama to go to the festival together.
Yeah,
you know, and I thought that part was hilarious because I remember chuckling at this and with Vianney that when he says, "Hey Kaguya, we should probably take a look at the culture festival together," and then she's like, I'm sure the festival committee has it on their hand. And then she stops. She's like, wait. He just asked me out.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like this, like he just put him down. He's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then, but she's like, oh, no, wait. But yeah, I think we should go. But then something happens. They all start barging in, and they're like, "You wouldn't believe what I just saw in the hall. Some dude was trying to ask this girl to the culture festival, and he totally got rejected."
You got it backwards. They were trying to invite each other. His premise for asking her out was, "Let's go scope out a different culture festival at a different school." So since we're like student council and we're gonna host this culture festival, we need to go see what everyone else is doing. So yeah, that's when you get like the other members of student council. That's where you get Ishigami and Miko being like, "Oh my god, look at all these losers asking each other out to different culture festivals down the hall. Isn't that super lame?" And like that ends up being even funnier because like Chica totally has this fetish for like dude on dude kind of stuff, because like somehow Ishigami's just like socially inept and doesn't get the hint that the president's trying to go with Kaguya. So like he convinces himself that the president secretly wants him to go, and Chica, like thinking that's super cute, like gets like another like semi nosebleed being like, oh my god, two guys are gonna go on a date to this culture festival together.
Yeah, and then not only that, the other aspect with I think there was a conversation along the lines of like, oh, you don't really want to go to these festivals, like girls get hit on all the time. And I was like, oh well, Kaguya's like, oh well, I should probably go with the president. And then somebody is like, I think it was Miko, being like a tight ass, is like, the safest thing it will be two guys would go. And then like Miyuki is like, please bro, you're scaring the hoes. And Ishigami's like, don't worry, bro, I got you. It's like, I'll go with you. That's where Chica gets her nosebleed, and it's hilarious.
Well, it does have. So the scene you're confusing with is he does ask her to their student festival.
Correct,
so
yes.
Day 2 of their culture festival, after they've had a successful day 1, they have some time, and like Kaguya in her head is like, oh, the president would never ask me out. That'd be super embarrassing. And then he's going to lose the love is war thing, blah, 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 blah. And he does it. And then she's like, okay, but he's about to talk his way out of it. And like, it's about to be super corny. And then we're not going to move any further because he doesn't want to embarrass it. But he's like, no, for real. Like, let's go check out the stands. Let's go see what's up. So they spend like a whole date together. But me going into this episode, knowing that Mother's Basement, spoiler, that Miyuki had actually like orchestrated like the whole second day as a way to confess.
Maybe I'm just excited about what happens in between, but hold on before we get to all that juicy, saucy part of this anime. Everybody gets a role in the culture festival.
Yeah.
Kaguya is serving tea.
Their homeroom classes have different like stands or like different like ways to just make a buck at the culture festival.
Correct. And then Miko, she
the horror house.
No, Miko recruited, like, she recuses herself from everybody because she's the one looking out after the neighborhood. During
right.
the festival.
She's worried about the neighbors around the school, like bitching about a bonfire and stuff like that.
Correct, because then again, Kaguya not only works at the tea, but she also has a closing ceremony to the festival, which is lighting the bonfire with a fire and arrow.
Yeah.
Also, Ichigami has worked up talks with Kaguya about confessing his love to Kei.
Yeah, he's in love with the captain of like the cheerleading squad, essentially.
The gymnastics, I think.
Yeah. Like that was a season 2 plot line. Correct. Was that like Ishigami needed like a, I don't know, he had to join a different club or something, or he needed like a PE credit essentially. So like he just like stumbles his way into like the pep squad essentially, and that's where he falls in love with this pink hair like uppity senior. She's a third year actually, Kayasa, and the part I was gonna say was that like the first stop on Kaguya and Miyuki's little date is they go into a fortune teller, and I thought that was part of his plan. Like everything the fortune teller tells them, because I knew that he had set up like the whole second day, and like the fortune teller, at least in the dub, tells them a bunch of explicit shit. Like they're talking about like hooking up like with protection. They're talking about what kind of lover they can be. Like she flat out says like Kaguya can be taught to be a better lover through practice, and they're both just sitting there being like,
But the president is cool. It's cool. He's keeping it cool.
He's trying to keep it cool, and that's why I thought that he had told the fortune teller
96.8 cool. 96.8 cool. But like even before that date, the last thing that I wanted to mention is that Ishigami worked up the courage to confess to his crush.
Well, he did it on accident.
Yes, so that's what I wanted to bring up. He's so good at games or festival games because his father owns like a toy company.
They're rich kids.
Which I'm pretty sure branches out to like fair games.
It's like if your dad owned Hasbro.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, how do I not know how to play Operation or something like that?
Yeah.
And Ishigami wins a lot of points, which gets him the biggest prize. And because it's the biggest prize...
Oh, the premise at their cultural festival is there's like this myth, legend that about hearts. So
how the school started, I guess.
The school started because some girl, Romeo and Juliet, herself, and...
I gave Cave his heart to his crush.
Right. And that's the founding of the school.
Yeah, but then he wins this big prize, which is a big heart cookie, who he, without a thought in his head, like he was just like, hey, you want this?
Because she had mentioned that she wanted a cookie, and she's like, that cookie looks delicious.
Yeah.
But then the premise for the school is it's like, if you give somebody a heart-shaped object, you're basically publicly confessing your love for them.
Correct. So he turns into a shit show, and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah, I just thought she wanted a cookie.
Yeah, and now he thinks she's avoiding him.
Right. So she gets so embarrassed. Like, basically, he's openly confessing his love for her in front of her own class. That was her homeroom class that was doing the mini games. And, like, she just runs out of the room. And now there's this whole, like, 2-3 episode plot about, like, he's some weird loser, but he's the nice guy. And that's what makes her, like, want to reluctantly give him the time to, like, find out more about him to see if she really wants to date him.
And also, like, there's this super, very... So when that happens to Ishigami and Miyuki finds about it, Miyuki, without asking or without knowing the context, he's like, oh, this dude just confessed their love to her in front of everybody, and he might get turned down, and that is gonna negate all the plans that I have to confess my love to Kaguya.
Those negative vibes are gonna ruin his vibes for confessing to Kaguya.
Correct, but what he was thinking that he confesses love, that's not true in Ishigami's head. In Ishigami's head, he just thinks that she's rejecting her after he gave her a heart-shaped cookie in front of everybody.
He didn't think it was a real confession.
Exactly. So he doesn't know. And then Kaguya finds out about what Ishigami... no, she finds out through Kei?
Kayasaya.
Kayasaya?
Yeah.
Kayasaya...
I think they call it Tsubame most of them.
Tsubame? She finds out through her because she finds her on the things like, oh my god, like Ishigami just... No, somebody...
this loser weird guy like just confessed to me. Isn't that super weird? What do you do about this, Kaguya? You must be super popular with the boys.
And Kaguya trying to help her boy Ishigami is like, oh dude, you should probably
she doesn't know it's Ishigami. She's
correct.
Like, oh, she doesn't know it's Ishigami, so she's like, oh, it must not be Ishigami. So whoever that guy is, he's a fucking loser. Just tell him something really mean and blow him off.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh fuck. She also thinks he confessed her love to her, so now she's trying to backtrack on what she said, but she's convinced. And then Chika gets also hit on, but she's like, she just gives him a riddle and like walks away.
Yeah,
which was weird.
Yeah,
but anyways, yes, we both are like, well, Kaguya and the president are both in this trance of like, holy shit, what's gonna happen with Ishigami while they go on a date? Who then the president is really chill about.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, hold on.
That's all I wanted to set up.
I never brought up I never fleshed out the ASMR plot.
Yes.
So there's also a subplot where Ishigami invites Tsubame into this horror house room, but it's a rich kid school, right? So they can do rich people things. So what they do for the second half of the horror house is they do like an immersive 3D audio like ASMR thing. So they lock you in a closet and like put a blindfold on you. It's already dark. They blindfold you and they put like headphones, like noise canceling headphones over your ears, and they play a track of basically them torturing what's her name?
Miko?
They like, so the scene of them recording that audio is the girls in the Culture Festival Planning Committee literally grab Miko, tie her to a chair, lock her into a recording studio, and they start licking her ear. They start like tickling her. They start nuzzling her, and like
the scissor noises.
They're giving her wet willies, and like they're nibbling on her ears. It's super, super weirdly erotic for like 30 seconds, and like you don't expect it. You're just like,
is this the same thing?
Yeah. Did I just walk into something else? Because like it's this whole different girl just wanting to fuck with Miko because she's such a prude and such a tight ass, just wanting to just torture her because she can't escape. But then Miko's best friend basically purposely misrecords it because she's like, yeah, all we could hear was you screaming, so we kind of got to record it again. So then later on in the episode, they'll be like, I don't know why it took us so long to tape your mouth shut. We should have just done that from the beginning. Well, I don't know why we had to record it 50 times. And Miko's just being tortured and people are like licking her ear and stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy.
So anyways, the big season ending mind warping plot is that basically like the 5 episode structure from like episodes 10 through 13 were entirely orchestrated by Miyuki. Miyuki, immediately before the Culture Festival starts, was being taught by Chika, actually, again, he's really bad at like arts and crafts, on how to fold balloons, how to do balloon animals and balloon art and stuff like that, because that's what their class was doing. To the point that he made that whole Persona 5 Phantom Thief subplot to just distract Chika. He left clues around. He stole all the heart-shaped balloons. He somehow made a giant weather balloon orb on top of this dragon monument that sits at the school. And he was leaving little notes around just to keep Chika distracted. Just being like, I will be at this place at this time.
Yeah, because Chika's part in the whole festival is that she just dedicated her time to look for the bandit.
Yeah, she's looking for the Phantom Thief or whatever.
This year will be me who finds the bandit.
You're gonna find the love bandit at the school festival. Yeah. So after their little date, Miyuki fucks off, and Kaguya and Hayasuka get like this whole plan that like when you're lighting the bonfire at the end of the day and you have the bow in your face, he's gonna see your profile and it's gonna be super hot and he's gonna want to confess to you right there, and then you're gonna light the bonfire and everyone's gonna think you're super impressive and amazing, and then he's gonna confess to you in front of everybody.
But that happened after the president took her to the student council office and told them that he's leaving.
Right. So they have this amazing day. They go to all the stands. They're having a great date. It's the closest thing they've ever had to a date, because the president finally just kind of just like sucks it up. Just like no expression. He's not embarrassed. It's not a love is war thing for him. He's just genuinely enjoying his time with her.
Kaguya's a little pissy. She's like, why is this guy so cool right now?
Yeah. Aren't girls the worst? Like, she's been bitching about this for 36 episodes, and he finally starts giving her the attention she wants, and she's like, this isn't who I want. You're a little too
stoic.
You're a little too into me right now. Yeah, but he was stoic about it. He was trying to play cool. He was trying to play it cool.
Yeah. And the president brings her into the room, and she's like, hey, Kaguya, I need to talk to you. It's like, I am, no, she wants to take over the conversation. She's like, oh, this is a very good...
She wants to give him a heart-shaped pendant that she has.
And but she's like, this is a really good festival. I can't wait for the next one we go. And then the president is like, well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
So he pulls out this envelope that he had placed there like 2 episodes ago, and it's his acceptance letter into Stanford as like an early graduate. So like he would essentially skip his last year of high school, and most of his last year of high school, other than the first 5 months, and like go live in California essentially, and go be at Stanford, and that like completely shatters Kaguya's heart. Like from there on out, she immediately finds Hayasuka, and like that's where I wanted to bawl. I was like I'm literally just like there with my dogs, like wiping my eyes. I'm like, it's so mean. Like she just loves him so much, and now he's gonna move to California.
Well, and then from what we know from the parent-teacher conference, that Kaguya is like, she doesn't even know what she wants to do.
She literally doesn't have a life.
So when she says that, she takes a very mature decision of being like, hey, that's great for you. She turns around because she always is gonna cry if she looks him at the eyes. But she turns around, you know, right away from the TV.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, don't look at me, TV.
And then she just like, well, that's really good. I'm so happy for you. I wish you the best. And she walks away. But in the president's head, like he was almost like being choked by the words, like, hey, wait, like I want to tell you this.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what he's as a first time watcher, we don't know that he has been planning the whole bandit thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
then Kaguya in
a bonfire.
Kaguya in a room with her maid Hayasuka. She's like, I can't. It's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's leaving next year. He's like, that's it. It's like he's gone. I can't tell him to not go. And then Hayasuka's like, oh, you sound like a little bitch right now. You don't sound like Kaguya right now.
Where's the lady of the house? Where's Miss Shinomiya? Like, this doesn't sound like, who's this whiny little girl?
Exactly. And then she goes into like a sweet, super cute, like thing of why he likes him is like, I like this because of this. I like this because of that.
I like his tired eyes because that means like he's thinking about even when it looks like he's not focusing on something, he's obviously still listening because he'll bring it up later. Like he's really smart, but it's not because he's just gifted. He tries. Yeah. He really works at it. Crazy. Like all these other things. I think she loves it. Yeah. And that's like I'm texting Karen. She's at work at the bar. I'm just texting her at like 11.
Still love me?
No, I'm at like 11 at night. I'm like, why haven't you fucking told me all these things that you love about me? I text her at like 11:30. She texted me when she woke up today at like 10, and she's like, what the fuck do you mean we're gonna drop out of our last year of high school together and go move to Stanford? And I was like, it's so you wouldn't sweet. Get it, you wouldn't understand.
It's so sweet. And then at this point, like Kaguya's like, you're right Hayasuka, I need to go out and find him. Is like, so he goes to the student council room. He's not there. Hayasuka's like, don't worry, I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna set him up in the scene that you sent before. So, he's gonna look at your beautiful face brightened by this firing arrow. You're gonna shoot that bonfire. It's gonna lit up, and you guys are gonna have a toast.
Honestly,
at the roof of the school.
And again, talking about foreshadowing, like season 1 foreshadowing. I can't believe it took me 3 fucking seasons to realize why Kaguya's in the archery club, because she's the one in possession of Cupid's arrow. he's like he fell in love with her first, which we get like a background episode. He fell in love with her first. Because she's the one that possesses Cupid's arrow. That's why she's in the archery club, and she's like this super gifted and talented archer. Like, it took me like...
I was today years old when I found that out.
You just found that out?
I just found that out.
Dude,
yeah, it just hit me like a ton of
when I was wild, it's because they kept talking about flaming arrow. I get it. I like in my head, I was like, I get it. The fucking arrow's on fire, and she's gonna light a bonfire. Why did they keep bringing it up? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, because it's fucking Cupid's. And like the intro to season 1, it's all Cupid's arrow imagery. The whole opening sequence is either like, it's also like that James Bondy kind of Casino Royale like opening theme, but it's also like Cupid's arrow, and then it took me until second last episode of season 3 to be like,
get it.
Yeah, to get it.
Until now to get it.
It took me telling you to get it.
Yeah, man. and I'm telling you, it's so sweet. And at this point, I'm still not convinced that this is gonna be ultra romantic.
But it's so ultra romantic.
Kaguya-sama season 3 titles ultra romantic, and at this point we can't find the president, and like we see like even like during shot, like Kaguya-sama's getting distracted. You think she's gonna set something on fire by shooting, like
there was a wind.
There was wind, there was gust, and she lights it. The calling cards come out of the roofs.
Yeah, it's a calling card that basically says that the weather balloon that was in front of the dragon has disappeared
because it was a jewel. It was a jewel.
The jewel of the dragon.
The dragon. Yeah.
One of the girls that are part of like the for student newspaper essentially, like. She's the daughter of a CEO of a paper company, and she's the one that's like, this is inorganic paper. This isn't, tree-based paper. Like, this won't burn. And, like, Chica being like, oh, there's clocks on it. If I take these 5 times on this clock, and I figure out what time zones they're in, then I'll be able to find the exact coordinates, which is in the library,
That would definitely be me. I would definitely be like, yeah, we're thinking the shadow.
But then it took, like, the genius of it is it took Kaguya actually knowing and being on, like, the same level as the president to be like, it's made out of inorganic paper because whoever printed out these paper...
Knew there was going to be a bonfire.
Knew there was going to be a bonfire, but they're actually, like, a super nerdy prude, and they don't want a bunch of fires all over the place. So they made it so they printed on inflammable paper.
There's been preparation time for this.
Right. Yeah. So then she's just kind of doing like actually using her head. I know where he's at. So then she figures out the highest point, which is like the clock tower, and the only people with access to the clock tower are the student council and the faculty. So she goes up there, and like he's wearing the fucking Joker costume for Persona 5. Like he's wearing a top hat, a black cape, like he's a phantom thief. You know what I mean? And there's right about there we get like a whole episode backstory plot on why Miyuki actually became class president. And he had no friends when he transferred to the school. He's a poor kid. He's not poor. That's mean. But like
upper middle.
He's middle class. He's just average Japanese. He's an average Japanese family, but he's really smart. He got into the school on scholarship. No friends when he transferred in. He felt this animosity towards everybody else at the school. He's like, these happy-go-lucky rich kids, they don't know my struggle. Like he's eating a discount sandwich in that first scene, and the then class president.
Pastor tacos.
Yeah, those are getting expensive now. I don't know. Pastor's on the up and up, man. Everything's getting crazy. Eggs are a luxury. Like I can't even get an egg on my torta now.
That'll be $10.
Yeah, for real. Anyways, so basically the whole thing was like he had nothing better to do. The class president at the time convinced him, and he was upset because the first work that they had him do was like helping clean like a little lagoon swamp thing. And one of the girls that was helping almost ended up drowning. But everyone's such a prude, and the president was like so scared, and he also can't swim, that he didn't jump in and immediately help them, and everyone else is just watching her drown. But it took Kaguya, the would-be ice queen at the school, just being the only one to grab a rope, tied it around herself, jumped in the lake, pulled out this girl, and that was when Miyuki first fell in love with Kaguya, because he just thought she was another rich. He thought she was pretty. He mentioned like the two times he saw her around campus that he thought she was hot. But it wasn't until he realized that she was selfless that like he was like, holy shit, there's so much more to her.
Not only selfless, but prepared.
Yeah,
trouble solving.
Yeah, problem solving. Yeah. And so right about there, that's when like it's up on the clock tower. What ended up happening was Miyuki had rigged the weather balloon dragon jewel thing. That was where he stole all of the heart-shaped balloons. He put all of them in there, and then he had it float down to where the bonfire was. It lit up, and the upward draft of hot air carried the balloons to the highest point at the school, which was the clock tower. So the ultra romantic portion is this closing scene, is Kaguya finally realizing with the audience what's going on.
With little hearts everywhere.
With this stream of heart-shaped balloons in the background. Like, I kept seeing screenshots of it on Twitter. I was like, oh, it's a stylization. Oh, like sometimes they'll just do random hearts in the background, stupid
like
stuff.
Invisible to the characters.
Right, because it's a stylization. No, like part of the plot, part of the actual foreground is there are heart-shaped balloons everywhere. And Kaguya is like dumbfounded by this like this gesture, this romantic gesture, and she's just standing there and she's thinking, oh my god, he's such a smart, kind dude. Oh my god, he's gonna confess to me. But then like Miyuki's like shitting himself. He's like, oh my god, it took all my courage just to set this up. Please just confess to me.
Time, courage, hours, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, I don't even have like the courage or like the willpower anymore to confess. Please just confess. I've done so much. Just confess. And she just like, they don't even show the kiss, but like I think it's super, super sweet. So like it's this stream of red balloons, one blue balloon, he grabs it, he's holding it like he's gonna hand her his heart. She grabs a red balloon and is like nuzzling it, and she's like very comfortable like with this love affectionate moment, and she's the imagery is she's becoming comfortable with her own love, with her own feelings. That's why she's nuzzling this red heart she grabbed. And like she sees the president stammering, and she's just thinking about that the conversation she had with Hayasaka and about how she's gonna lose him. He's just like, well, listen, I don't know what we're going to do. Our school year ends in April, and this time next year, it's early fall right now. I would be in Stanford this time next year, so I don't know if we could do this again. Just move to Stanford with me. They haven't confessed to each other. They've never like had their first kiss, and he's just immediately like, move away with me. Just move away with me to California.
Like, please come with me.
Please come with me. Like, your dad's rich. And like, she goes with it immediately. And she's like, oh my God, I bet I can convince father. And like,
I need to get transcripts. I need to start.
I need letters of recommendation. What am I going to do? He had already planned for her to get his second letter of recommendation from the dean, principal, the dean, president of the school, because like him being the number one student and the president, I think it was because he was president, the dean will write him 2 letters of recommendation. He's like, I only need one. Give my other one to Kaguya.
To my vice, to my VP.
Yeah, to my VP. And then he makes him write it that night so that he can hand it to her. And she's immediately down, and he's stammering, and he's losing it. And he's just like, and she just like grabs him.
So what do you think? And it tells Kaguya. And Kaguya just steps forward, and she's like, what do you think I think? And then we cut to Chika trying to solve her stupid puzzle.
Chika!
Who opens a secret door to the library that leads them to that tower.
That leads them to a second tower on the other side of campus.
Yeah. And then somebody looks through it, and you're seeing through a scope.
It was one of the school newspaper girls.
Yeah, the Kaguya is grabbing the president, and she's getting closer and closer, and then a balloon flows up, and of course, because it's anime. But not only that, because there's a movie coming.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna show it. I hope they show it.
I think it's called Love Never Ends, or The First Kiss Never Ends.
Yeah. So now we have this balloon, this blue balloon. I think it's a balloon.
It was a red balloon.
Oh, it was
a red balloon. Like if the camera's this way and we're looking at their profiles, the red balloon just comes up in the middle of the camera, so we don't actually see the kiss.
Correct. But again, there's no confession of love.
No, there's no confession of love. So then, like, the very next scene is Kaguya gushing and being like, she's using little baby voices while telling it.
Oh, it's going to be so cute.
She gave me your kisses and then she.
I like when she tells Hayasaka that she
French tongue. Yeah. She's like, I'm sure you wouldn't know this, Hayasaka, but you're supposed to stick your tongue in there and just kind of wiggle it around a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's just like, you did what? Yeah. And she's like, yeah, like in the movies. Like, I just stuck my tongue in his mouth and just started wiggling it around a little bit. And it tasted like a corn dog because he just had a corn dog. But whatever, that's super cute and romantic. And she's just like, you idiot. Like, that's not a first kiss. You just did some random shit and just stuck your tongue in his mouth.
No, but it was hilarious, and God, just seeing the almost montage of like all this like preparation happening. Ah, it's so cool. The jewel, the what because when he steals the jewel of the dragon, everybody thought it was like pepper mache and cardboard and shit.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, why, how can they steal that?
Yeah.
So then that thing coming down, bursting with balloons, having this conversation up there, it is so fucking crazy.
A really, really like upsetting scene is that like at that point, the girl that Ishigami had like confessed to, the prep school chick, the Tsubame, excuse me. She had basically already came to an understanding with him, being like, I'm gonna graduate in April, but like we'll get to know each other until then.
But then he still didn't know that he had confessed his love yet.
Right. She's just like, yeah, we'll get to know each other until April. And he's just like, oh, okay, sure.
Because they're talking about the tree.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, look at that tree. I love this tree. I like, because she's like, hey, we need to talk. After she was like avoiding him.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to talk. Let's go meet on the back of the school. And she's like, I really love this place because this tree particularly blooms really cool with like a pinkish, yellowish flower. He's like, oh, that tree? Oh, this is this fucking tree. It blooms this time. This is the best time to see it.
It's an extra version of cherry blossom where the petals don't fall away as quickly.
Yeah, so they just shrivel on the branch and stuff. And in his dumbass brain, she's now telling him, is like, hey, listen, about the thing, I don't have an answer for you right now. He's like, give me an ultimatum almost. Give me a set date.
And he's like, an ultimatum on a tree.
For the tree. And I'm like, I guess April will be the best time to see the tree. and
she's like, okay, that's really generous.
3 months, 4 months or some shit like that.
Yeah. She's like, that's 5 months away. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So basically, like,
I didn't like how that happened either.
No, so he's like half dating her, half not dating her. What kind of upset me a little bit was after Miko's introduction in season 2, I always thought the ship was going to be Miko and Ishigami. Like, you
think so?
I always thought they were going to end up together, but after the little bonfire thing, there is kind of like remnants of that being there because if Tsubame's like a year older than Ishigami, she even says flat out to Kaguya, like, I'm going to leave soon and I'm going to a college that's way outside of like this area. So because Miko's such a prude, she, instead of her enjoying the bonfire and seeing like the stream of like hot air balloons going up to the tower, she's out patrolling because she doesn't want to upset the neighborhood association. So Ishigami on his iPad like kind of records the whole thing, and he goes and finds her. He's like, hey, weirdo, like, you're out here being a fucking nerd, like, and investigating the school grounds. Here, look at this cool thing that your hard work actually led to. And she's super impressed, but like, it's also like he knew exactly what she needed. Like, he knows her so well that he can like guess her wants and needs without her having to express it. And that's what leads me to believe that like there still kind of is chance for their ship.
Hey, yeah, hopefully. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen in the movie? I'm pretty sure the movie's gonna be the closing to the story, if anything.
The trailer dropped today. It doesn't show a whole lot. I don't know. The trailer looked kind of mid, to be honest.
I don't know. Who knows? But
for a feature length, like, yeah, for Kaguya, who even knows? So there's an after credit scene, and the last scene Kaguya has with Hayasaka, and she's like, I'm gonna call the president right now. It's not fair that he's just giving me kisses and he's not confessing his love. And like that kind of just ends there. We get that regular sci-fi outro sequence, but then the after credit scene is them doing regular things. It's Chika walking into the club room. She's like, hey guys, I got a new game. Miko being like, oh, does it fit the rules? Ishigami being like, no, I'm lame and too cool. Don't want to do that. And like Kaguya and Miyuki reluctantly doing it, but like underneath his desk, they're holding hands. And I thought that was really sweet. And I was like, oh my God, I might cry again.
No, it's fucking good, man. It's fucking good. And when I finished watching it, I got on Twitter again, and you're like, you had some tweets about the movie, and I was like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe that shit comes out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it is amazing. Thank you, A1 Productions, for putting this thing together for us.
We love A1 Pictures. What can I say?
Yeah.
And like, talk about slice of life. Like, this is good slice of life. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing really fantastical about here. Everything that would be fantastical is the stylization. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's
calm life.
It's not. But like, I don't. That's what I mean. There's that whole subgenre of slice of life that people were mad at us for. You know what?
Yeah.
That fits the. Do you have any more points on Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic?
It was ultra romantic.
It was ultra romantic. Like literally, even the orator, the voice in the background is kind of like, isn't this the most ultra romantic thing you've ever
Like,
seen? I'm
oh
like,
my
yeah,
god,
dude.
yeah, like the narrator is always like, ah.
Yeah, he like honestly, he's so funny. The narrator in Kaguya-sama is the funniest narrator in probably all of anime.
Probably
Because he's literally saying the stupidest shit.
Mhm.
Like in the dub again, talking about like English, like because I know English and I know like where the inflection points are and what's the joke. And I know what the joke is. Like you hear him be like gushing, like, "Oh, isn't that so sweet, audience?" Like, I was like,
it is sweet, man, and it's a great shit. The energy for this episode alone, like, I love talking about it because it's so good.
Karen tells me she loves me every day, but I've never wanted so badly to be like, why don't you fucking confess your love to me again?
You still love me.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, nerd down.
Nerd down.
Nerd down.
Nerd Down.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Down, where the nerds get down. Again, Drew Filippoulis, Alda Mendez. Y'all are listening to this at the beginning of February. So if you all want to enter our February giveaway, leave a comment on any YouTube video during the month of February. And if you are a subscriber, then you will be automatically entered into our February giveaway. And we'll get you some hand-picked cool nerd stuff. Whatever you're into, we'll get it for you. Or you can also enter by leaving a positive review on any of the audio podcast-only platforms. So we're thinking of Spotify, we're thinking of Apple Podcasts, we're thinking of Pandora. The only thing is we don't get notified when you guys give a positive review. So if you want to email us at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com and showing us evidence of you leaving a positive review, we will also enter you into the February giveaway.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit too much to ask, but please, subscribe to YouTube, comment.
It's the biggest thing. Subscriptions on YouTube is just like our biggest goal right now.
Yes.
We text each other on each individual subscription.
Yeah, we're like,
it's not even a lie.
36, 37, 36, 37.
Oh no.
But yeah, 136. Thank you guys for the new listeners, the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. This Nerd Down is brought to you by comments of nerds on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I want to do this other one first. I'm not going to do them in order. So,
No, go for it.
Related to the end of our discussion, we were kind of picking on people that want to watch, like, real slice of lives that, like, aren't actually slice of lifey. So, I'm just going to read this comment, and then we'll go into it. So, Dino Scarix, 2 days ago, commented on our video, "You're 30, living at your mom's house. And this is what you're watching, episode 127, Hitori Bochi. I could not deeply disagree more about your impressions of Hitori Bochi. I think you fail to realize that Hitori Bochi is a isekai, a genre that is supposed to be more calm and relaxing. Of course you would be let down expecting something wacky like Komi-san or Bochi the Rock."
You could have left out wacky, and they would have made a better comment.
Yeah.
Because now you are putting Hitori Bochi into a higher pedestal than Kami Can't Communicate and Bocce the Rock.
Komi Can't Communicate is not really that wacky. Like, not really.
It's fun. I saw the first episode with you, and I was in love with it.
Komi Can't Communicate?
I believe so. No?
That was, you're thinking of
Oh, something is not just a cutie.
Yeah, you're thinking of Shikamori's not just a cutie.
I am familiar with Kami Can't Communicate. Like, I recognize it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You have fun. I trust you. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to these kind of conversations around slice of lifey and cute stuff.
If anything, Dino Scarix Rex, I appreciate you teaching us what an isekai is.
Yeah, definitely.
New word. Learn a little bit more about these subgenres every time we do an episode. That's what I appreciate about this comment. Number one, you totally took offense to my episode title, which is 100% bait. 1000% bait.
Yeah.
It was so baity and such in bad faith. I texted the original thumbnail to Aldo being like, "Is this too mean?" And Aldo was like, "Fuck it, run with it."
I mean, it's we're trying to run a YouTube channel here, and it's not to keep you down or anything like that. It's
it helped our KPI. It helped our impressions click-through rate.
And it's not even about you being 30 and living on your mother. We're not laughing at you about that. We're laughing
about
at
you not having taste. Dog.
Yeah. Like even because I wanted to get some clips, and not clips as YouTube shorts, but I wanted to get magazines for this run up. It's gonna happen on this nerd, because I was like, okay, let's see. Okay, what was it? Iyashikai. Okay, let's see. Top Iyashikais. And in none of like some like I look at 3 lists, is like top this, best loved, or like most loved on this genre, and Hitoribochi is not in there.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
So even your taste in your own
genre
is
mid.
So sorry for us being persuaded into thinking that this was going to be something like not just like Bocce the Rock, but like something slice of life. I thought it was going to be completely different, but no, this is just diet soda, diet cola, Bocce the Rock. And in Bocce the Rock, I can relate to money struggles. I can relate to
a vodka water.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, crazy. But your comment. Thank you for your comment. But dog, watch more anime.
Appreciate you taking the bait.
I love this one. I like this guy.
All right, Mr. Jad Trig, on an older episode, in episode 119 of One Piece Film Red. Maybe the One Piece was actually the friends we made along the way. All right. Again, love my titles here. Mr. Jad Trig has 2 comments. First reading. This is cool, and I understand the guy is very passionate and excited about One Piece. I am too. But damn, he spoils so much for the other guy. I wish he would be a bit more mindful, because the lore is also a big part of why One Piece is so good and why we enjoy it. He's going to take away some of the lore from him. I'm caught up on everything, so I'm also able to watch this, but don't spoil it for the guy who hasn't seen it all.
So I think I'm other guy in this situation.
I think you are other guy. I think I'm the guy. I think you're other guy.
Yeah. You're the guy, and I'm the other guy. So the guy.
And that's mean, because CJ was in this episode. Where's he in this comment?
Maybe that's the guy. Who knows? But I don't know. You understand that when I watch One Piece, I'm too far behind to even. You know me. I have ADHD. I have.
Undiagnosed.
Undiagnosed.
No, nobody bite our heads off. Undiagnosed. But we're fairly sure.
Yeah. But like, I'm not gonna remember all this stuff. I understand the lore, and the lore is something that like, for example, the fruits. I can't understand it because I haven't seen the entirety of the fruits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or
we're barely understanding what the actual fruits are about, like 3 chapters ago.
Correct. So like, this is not gonna matter to me for a long time, and my brain knows that, so it just dumps info out.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't really mind about getting this conversation. You said it yourself. It is awesome to talk about when you're passionate about a anime. So if you...
Yeah, that's his second comment. I like this podcast, though. I love to see people passionate about One Piece and make content around One Piece.
If you are subscribed, let us know. I will look through the list, but you already comment, my dude, and you might be entered into the giveaway for February.
I'm not even opposed to him saying maybe I spoil you too much. Because, like, in episode, I think I ask you sometimes, like, am I spoiling you too much? And you're like, nah, fuck it, I'm not going to remember.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the part that pisses me off the most is, like, the last sentence of the first comment. Yes. Because it's like, I'm caught up on everything, so I'm able to watch this. Dude. Okay, you read the most popular manga in the world, the most popular comic the most popular comic median content of all time. Oh, you watch it, you're caught up with it? Like, you and everybody fucking else, bro. Like, I don't know what, like, made you think, like, oh, I can be pretentious about this thing. It's like being like, oh, I watched Pokemon when I was a kid. Like, of course you fucking did. What are we debating right now?
Correct. And yeah, Yacht Trig, that is the best way to trigger this guy over here. You know, by
being pretentious.
By being pretentious about what you watch. Hey, be cool, bro. Be cool. You know, like the president of the student council, just be cool.
Yeah, and I do bring that up all the time. Like, that makes me think that you haven't watched enough anime, because like, I'm less pretentious the more anime I watch. Yeah. I was more pretentious when like we first started.
I didn't know about anime. Yeah, because anime is so well rounded everywhere.
At this point, I don't even care. Yeah, I'll watch anything.
So yeah, if you want to give us your suggestions, I know you like One Piece, so if you keep commenting and if you're subscribed, they might get you something One Piece. Who knows? But tell us what you like.
Out of the plethora of comments we received, I think that's enough for now. Don't you think, Mr. Aldo Mendez?
I believe so.
We'll save all these other people chomping at the bit for our attention for another time. Right. I did just want to do like an off the cuff discussion a little bit about Gundam. I haven't watched anything about Gundam since like, dude, the 90s, and I don't think I've ever watched the complete series, like ever.
Episodes here and there.
Episodes here and there when we were kids. And we are kind of fitting this anime into February, lovey, sad people month, romance month. Into Feelings February, we're going to be watching Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. And that's partially because of Feelings February, but it's also because we received a comment 2 weeks ago telling us to watch it.
And it fits our description for the month.
Yeah. Like they get married like in episode 2, episode 3. Okay, I'm with it. You caught my attention. I understand.
Okay, cool. And yeah, like Drew said, if you give us your recommendations, if we don't have nothing going on that week, or we haven't set dates, we'll just put you right there.
Yeah.
What else? We are gonna watch the Violet Evergarden movie after that.
Yeah, Violet Evergarden movie probably after that, and then last week will probably still be Quintessential Quintuplets. I don't know though if we're gonna watch seasons 1 and 2 or just season 1, because I think why you get season 1 and 2 of Kaguya-sama Love Is War like they're like one season in your head is because we watched them as one season. And I don't know anything about Quintessential Quintuplets aside from like he's semi-dating 5 girls that are all sisters. So I don't know if us watching it continuously would like ruin it for us, but like I'm also kind of excited. But like we're like, I'll be completely honest, after our 2 weeks without recording, I'm like kind of out of the habit of watching like 24 episodes in a week.
We are indulging in a lot of short anime.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So speaking of, first week of March Madness, which is our sport theme month.
Is that Captain Tsubasa first week?
So Captain Tsubasa first actual arc is like 56 episodes.
Oh Jesus.
So I'm trying to find a good midway point, but from what I remember, the first season, the first half, which will be that first 25 episodes, it's like world building and nothing really happens.
So what do we do?
Exactly. So I'm gonna look into it and see what a good halfway point is.
Okay. So I trust you.
So I can still watch it.
I think I scheduled a lot of our other stuff. I think I can trust you with this one.
No,
well, it's not even that I'm being facetious. It's just like when I was out of town and like you were in charge of social media. It's like that's my baby. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know if I trust you. It's like the first time you let somebody besides your mom watch Zagi.
No, absolutely. No, I get you. Yeah, no, and
not equating your 1-year-old son to a podcast. But
no, I get it. I completely get it. No, I do want to put it in there. I do want to put it in there because
we have to. You talk about it all the time. We can't not watch it.
But when we were talking about it, something like Blue Lock wasn't out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then with like the World Cup just finishing and Argentina not disappointing a lot of people by winning the World Cup, like I just feel like we should watch something soccer related.
Did you see they're going to do a new custom cup between the MX teams and the American football clubs?
Yeah, we're gonna try host the next World Cup.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be having games, I think, in the Dallas Stadium.
Well, it's not just I'm not just talking World Cup. So the next World Cup's in 4 years, right? But like you know how they do those?
Oh,
like,
the Olympics?
No.
Oh.
Like you know how like there's like an MX Cup.
Oh,
there's like an NAFC,
like a CONCACAF.
Yes, they're gonna do a new custom cup this year between the MX teams and the American FCs. That's lit because I was reading like this whole like article about it on PR. All of the MX games get better American viewership than any of the American FCs. So. The only time the American football clubs get a lot more eyes on it is when they're playing an MX team for like what's it called, like
the Confederate or the
no, not real clubs, for like little bouts,
scrimmage.
Yeah. Thank you, the word scrimmage. So like tying an actual like cup,
friendly in soccer,
friendly, there you go. So tying an actual like winnable cup, like an actual
between these two nations who are the soccer
people are really excited about it. And like it, like I was really into, not really, I was semi into the World Cup last year, as long as like The U.S. was in, and then I fell into the Argentinian narrative a little bit. I thought it was kind of cool.
I lost all hope when Japan lost.
I did a little bit too,
Yeah.
and like I absolutely love that they were wearing jerseys that were designed by the mangaka for Blue Lock. I thought that was super dope.
That's super cool, man.
But like, I'm excited to have a new reason to try to watch soccer this year.
Yeah, no, yeah, that cup sounds very interesting. And so Captain Tsubasa, I think I'm gonna lock it in. But you know what? I'm gonna have something old. We
got 4 weeks, bro.
We don't really like because I've been thinking about it because we don't really like old things, and this is gonna be like an 80s thing.
Hey man, but like it's your childhood. Like picking apart your childhood is what we do all the time.
So then I want to put the Mount of the Gods or the Climb of the Gods. I can't remember.
Yes, you did.
The French movie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put something that we both haven't watched, and it's a French movie, but it's an anime movie.
Yeah. We're gonna watch Birdie Golf.
Birdie Golf.
Whatever that one's called.
Correct. And I haven't thought about the last one.
The volleyball one.
Haiku.
It's gonna be Haiku season 2. I'm not even gonna debate you on that.
No.
It's gonna be Haiku season 2 somewhere in that month.
So we're gonna start off kind of slow with something 80s, and then we're just like,
hey man, we might have started too hot on Feelings February, if anything. If our last discussion on Ultra Romantic taught us anything, we might have started too hot on this one.
yeah, this is good.
But yeah, what else? Oh, I did want to bring something up. So in off discussions I've had with like you, CJ, and Roby, I met up with you at our local craft bar chain. And I showed up earlier than everyone because I'm the only one that knows how to keep a schedule. And I was reading manga at the bar top by myself, like a loser. And I was reading Oshi no Ko. Oshi no Ko reminds me of one of our favorite works, which is Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation is about a loser, neat boy getting hit by a truck-kun and being transported into another world, but like he's born as a child and we see him with his adult memories in our world coming up in this fantasy world. Oshi no Ko is about the gynecologist, the OBGYN of a 16-year-old J-pop idol who's also one of her biggest fans in a rural hospital. He lost a patient early on in his career to like cancer, like she was young, something like that. They don't really explain what it was, but he developed an infatuation with this J-pop star by watching after this little girl that died because she loved him, and they would just hang out in her room together and watch this J-pop idol. And he's in this rural hospital. He's an OB. In comes this 16-year-old girl who's like 7 months pregnant with twins. And like just kind of like, hey, I'm this pop idol star. Can you keep my pregnancy a secret? Because it's this whole thing with the person taking her to the appointment is her manager, like the label's manager.
Wait, so he's one of the twins?
Hold on, I'm getting that. So then this OB like takes her to term. He's on his way to the hospital when she's gonna give birth, and at the outskirts of the hospital, because it's a rural hospital, he gets jumped by somebody that kills him with a rock over the side of the head, so he doesn't make it to the birth. The next scene, chapter 2, is him being born as one of the 2 twins of the 16-year-old J-pop idol.
Damn.
So again, a little bit like Mushoku Tensei, very much different. It's not entirely an isekai because but it is a reincarnation story.
Correct. And if isekai can learn, if the genre of isekai can learn something from Mushoku Tensei, is that you don't need to be a fucking RPG player to be reincarnated into something else.
Oh yeah. So it's super cool. This is this book you're looking at right now, the first printing of Oshi no Ko in English.
Nice.
So there you go. Like it was the only copy that our local Barnes & Noble ordered.
I haven't been more so.
And I scooped it up. I knew what I was looking for. Honestly, I'm super excited about this one. This is getting an anime adaptation in, I think, April.
Mm-hmm.
So the spring anime season looks like it's going to be what like the last fall anime season was for us. It looks really hot. So we're getting Mushoku Tensei. We're getting Oshi no Ko. We're getting the rest of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, I think, or the second core of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. What else are we getting? I think we're getting a second core for Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that Nier Automata and a lot of anime are on like indefinite hiatus because of COVID?
Really?
After episode 3, a lot of animes. This is barely like the third week of the season. A lot of animes are on indefinite hiatus because there's like a bout of COVID going about in all these anime studios.
That's crazy.
Isn't that some shit?
Yeah.
Isn't that some shit? In April, we're getting
endemic, right?
Yeah. We just all got to live with it now.
Yeah.
God, that made me sad.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah. You made me sad on accident. Also in April, we're getting the Swordsmith Village arc of Demon Slayer. Right now, we're getting. Oh no! And also in April, I think we're getting. No. Starting next week, I think we're getting Tokyo Godfathers.
Cool. Yes.
We're also
that Christmas revenge party, whatever.
The Christmas Showdown or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Which apparently has 30 volumes of the manga, which I didn't even know was possible. So that means we're going to be getting Tokyo Godfather seasons until the end of time. That's at least like 5-6 seasons worth of art.
And as far as time skipping, Tokyo Godfather is doing it fast. At the end of season 1, I remember they're already grown up and as lords or like bosses of like this different mafia branches.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So where can they take it for 13 volumes?
You know what I almost bought?
What?
So when I was in Vegas, like I was looking up like just like nerd shit I could do, right? Obviously. So I went
you went to Vegas to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
I played the Yu-Gi-Oh! The first night. Shout out to the People's Card Shop. It's really big.
Second place.
Second place out of 45 people. I've never been to an El Paso locals tournament that's that big. I think that's a benefit of living and playing nerd shit in a big town.
There was good circulation.
It was just a Tuesday night. You know what I mean? And 45 people showed up. That's
that's cool.
That's a big deal for like somewhere like El Paso. But it's not only that. I was looking up like other like hobby shops almost. You know what I mean? And I found there's a store that makes like anime merchandise. And they're selling for like $200. Like the actual coat that what's his face? That the big dude with the ponytail wears in Tokyo Godfather. Yeah, the bomber. That big black bomber with the white stripes and the white checkered patterns.
Yes.
I almost bought it. I almost showed up and bought it but then I saw $200 and I was like, oh, never fucking mind. But man. That would have been hot. That would have been super cool.
Dude, bombers are hot right now in anime character design. They're cool, man. They're cool.
Oh yeah, I was googling the other day. I was trying to find like the same red bomber that this iteration of what's his face from Trigun wears.
Oh yes,
what's his name? Why can't I remember his name?
I can't remember his name.
Why can't I remember his name? But him. Oh, and I wanted to talk about episode 2 of Trigun Stampede real quick.
Go ahead.
Bash the Stampede.
Bash. There you go.
Bash the Stampede. The humanoid typhoon.
Yes.
I never understood in the original Trigun why his brother was named Million Knives. In like episode 2 of Trigun Stampede, they really, really fucking show why he's named Million Knives. It's gory as shit. I won't say anything other than that, but like I cannot believe that people were mad about like this iteration of Trigun Stampede. And like original Trigun is like it's that 90s aesthetic, so you think it's kind of mature. It showed up on Adult Swim in the middle of the night. You weren't entirely sure you were supposed to be watching it, but like this adaptation of Trigun is like for adults. It's super, super interesting and crazy, and it's sad to that same point. It makes the drama and the actual travesty of living on this isolated planet that's essentially a desert wasteland that much worse.
I'm excited to watch it for an episode between there.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. So like in 10 weeks, I got you.
Probably.
Yeah.
I played the first 2 levels of 007 GoldenEye for the 64 on the Switch.
How was it? Tell me about it.
It was good. I got the first 2 sheets. So I don't know if you remember, you can put cheat codes on it.
I don't remember. Did you ever play it?
No,
I don't remember shit.
No, well, this walkthrough of like James Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye. If you beat different levels a certain way, you get a cheat code, but the cheat code is not a real cheat code. It's just like, oh, you get paintball bullets. So everywhere you shoot, it's just like you can see like the paint, or like bubble heads, and all the enemies have like big old heads, and like just stuff like that. I got those 2, but it was really nice, dude. It was really nice to play. I hadn't played it in forever, and that game we used to play. Me and my cousins used to stay up all night playing that in a little black and white TV.
I just remember doing that for like the original, like the N64 Zelda games. Like just watching like an older cousin or something like try to beat it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even allowed to play it. It was just like, oh, what's going on? Oh shit, that's crazy. Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do?
I grew up in a house with like probably 16 people.
Oh, God.
So my cousin, he had his games. So when he had his Atari, whenever he had the Super Nintendo, then I could use the Atari.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all grew up as like brothers almost.
Yes. Yeah. We 16 people in the fucking house.
Yeah.
So I would just play like everything like all the time. He was playing his PlayStation 1, I was playing his 64. I was playing, like the GoldenEye. I was playing the Donkey Kong. I always liked. But yeah.
Was it Donkey Kong 64?
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64 is shit.
Do you remember the music?
Dude, great.
DK. Donkey Kong. And he's the leader of the bunch. You know him well.
Yeah.
He's finally back to kick some tail.
Hell yeah, dude. That's a great song. But what else? We don't have it. Well, we have more comments, but we just don't have the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a new logo. You guys have. We haven't talked about this enough.
Shout out to Hector Gabriel. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Aldo was geeking about all the comic books and oh, I didn't even fucking tell you. I did order the Black Cat Annual #1, the 2020 version.
First print?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
First print. It was only $20.
Cool.
So I got on tcgblader.com, and it should be here sometime next week. We'll put it right here. It'll look really nice.
And that's
for episode 129.
Hanging up. Yeah, hanging up comics. It looks great.
I'm just gonna frame this like this comic book that's not worth anything just because I'm obsessed
Is it
with Black
Superior
Cat.
Spider-Man?
No.
It's Black Cat Annual #1. You're right. But I feel like that
Superior's been done since 2018. No.
That
was when Doc Ock took over.
Yeah. You're right.
Since like 2018, 2019, something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I think 2020 was a different one. And I only know that. I'm not trying to I only know that because I Googled it the other day because I was trying to figure out.
No, you're right.
Spider-Man comics, yeah.
Yes. But that Black Cat comic comes from that storyline.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Do you think Ant-Man's going to die?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just everyone's just... We're all positive that Scott Lang's going to die, right?
I'm pretty sure he's going to die.
Okay. I was explaining this to Karen the other day because, like, I'm not spoiling her. She's seen everything I've seen. It's just... She's not out there watching YouTube videos or on fucking nerd Twitter like I am, or discussing this over a podcast in the middle of the night on a Friday with somebody on a hot mic.
Yeah.
But like, so I'm like re-explaining like the current plot of where the Avengers storyline is, and I'm reminding her like, okay, remember that guy from the end of Loki? He's a variant. He has variants that he explained tried to take over the multiverse, and he's the one that killed off all his variants, and that's why he creates the central timeline. And
I would go as far as saying that Ant-Man dies killing Kang, because we already killed one Kang.
You think this version of Kang will die?
Maybe, because that's the only way to soften the blow on the Ant-Man death. If anything, because if
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
Because if they're really trying to just kill off Ant-Man, it's gonna be a good movie. It's gonna be a really good movie. But if they're trying to soften the blow, if the writers were like, "Hey, they already saw Kang dying. Why is this guy different?" Maybe they're thinking about another design for Kang. Who knows?
I very much think. Here's where I'm at. I very much think that the Shang-Chi Golden Rings have something to do with Kang.
Absolutely.
Because like you see a similar structure in Kang's little microverse city, whatever the fuck it's called, like in the trailer, and it's the same color. The energies are an important part of the MCU. Like the energy color is an important part of the MCU. And
whether it's like power energy, cosmic energy, time energy, shit like that.
Right. And you finished What If, right?
Yes.
Okay, and What If is the exact same plot as like all of the Kang plots, except it's like an Ultron plot about like how Ultron being this perfectly ultimate robot like just wants to take over all of the multiverses and create one multiverse that's void of all life because life is destructive, and he wants to create like a perfect universe that is void of destruction.
Ultravision is fucking crazy in the comics too.
Is it?
Yeah, dude.
I know it.
Yeah.
And so that's totally the plot we're going with, essentially.
Correct,
right?
yes.
Like it's gonna be this one Kang trying to take over all of the multiverses, but because it's a multiverse plot, does that mean we're gonna be getting like the what's her name, Captain Britain, or
yes. Yeah.
That means we're gonna be getting all the What If characters in live action, maybe, right?
We already had him in Multiverse of Madness as a different
British chick.
Yeah, she died in the Multiverse of Madness. She got chopped in half by her own shield.
Oh, she did.
By Wanda. I'm sorry.
Oh, why she did by Wanda.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So, but like we could get a variant of that variant.
Absolutely.
Right?
So now that they're killing, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if anything, Ant-Man's gonna die by killing that Kang.
So you think this other Kang, because every time we kill a Kang, we're basically creating like a new void that this other Kang can come back from.
Yeah.
So I only know this because of YouTube videos. Iron Lad's a variant of Kang.
Iron Lad, Sebastian, I think is his name or some shit like that.
But
he
he's
becomes the Iron Man.
And they're totally setting up the Young Avengers too, right? So does that mean like we're before the 2027 like Kang Dynasty movie, we're totally gonna get like an Iron Lad origin story somewhere? Maybe, probably.
Nathaniel Richards. He's a descendant of Mr. Fantastic, but he's also one of the Kangs.
I'm lost.
Yeah,
I'm super lost.
Yeah,
so, like, do you think he could show up? Do you think there's a chance he could show up?
Oh no, they're definitely. Oh, and Ant-Man?
No, not Ant-Man necessarily,
overall?
but like, but between now and the 2027 Kang Wars movie.
No, definitely.
Okay,
definitely. So, if anything, like I said, he might just kill off that Kang, and we'll get another one.
Damn.
Yeah.
So then there's also like a King Tut like Kang or something.
Mm-hmm.
A Tutankhamun Kang.
So who knows?
In like, so you brought up the Fantastic Four. So like we have to. They haven't announced it. They put out most of the timetable from now until 2027. But that means we almost have to get a Fantastic Four like either movie or show between now and 2027.
The only reason Marvel even has conversations about the multiverse is because of Fantastic Four.
Why is that?
They have families everywhere. They have kids, multi-dimensional kids everywhere. Reed Richards is like the super brainiac of the
He's supposed to be essentially like a better Tony Stark kind of, right?
And a Bruce Banner. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's like the dude. So he is the one that like the whole team is the one that implemented the multiverse travel.
Right.
Yeah, like there's no multiverse without the Fantastic Four.
So do you feel like them? Well, they couldn't have because they didn't own Fox Studios yet. But do you think like the fourth Avengers movie would have been different if we already had access to the Fantastic Four? That's when they start jumping between timelines.
I don't think so.
No.
If anything, the way they're gonna use the Fantastic Four here will be to, in an endgame kind of situation, come and help and defeat the Kang that we are actually fighting.
Okay. I was watching a fan theory. I think it was I want to say it's called Screen Rant. It wasn't the one you watch all the time.
I haven't watched it in a while. Rockstars?
Yeah, it wasn't New Rockstars. I think it's called Screen Rant. He was doing one about he thinks somehow this plot, like somewhere near the end of this Ant-Man movie, is going to be like the technology that Kang is using is Avengers technology that they created to try to stop like the Kings of the multiverse. But then some type of multiversal Kang like incorporated like the rings and Ant-Man's technology like into I keep saying microverse, but they don't call it microverse in the movie. They call it like the you get what I'm saying? Yes. They call it something different. And that's why he's there in this isolated world inside of the microverse.
Quantum realm.
The quantum realm, thank you. Duh, it's called the quantum meaning. Okay. Duh.
Yeah, I'm very excited about what's coming with Ant-Man.
I hope Scott Lang dies.
No, he's probably gonna die.
So, do you think you're gonna hate the Marvels movie?
No, I don't think so.
No, but you don't like any of the Marvels properties. Well, for the MCU, you didn't watch the Miss Marvel show.
But I like the other two.
You didn't like Captain Marvel.
I like Captain Marvel. No. Miss Marvel. I like Miss Marvel.
The show?
Yeah.
With the Indian girl?
Yes. No, with the Indian girl. Yeah.
I thought we didn't like that show.
No, I like that show.
I didn't like that show.
I like that show.
So you like the part where like her cousin / new boyfriend like comes into her life and dies within an episode? Like I remember in NerdDowns I was trying to explain, like, I don't think you've talked about it since you finished it to me. Like there's like that whole middle part of the season where it just feels really rushed and like the storyboarding like doesn't make any sense. Like it wants you to have more narrative weight on the life and death of characters that you barely knew.
Yeah, but then again, like the story, because of the Marvels, they're not done with Miss Marvel, and I don't know if I
and Maria Rambeau's technically a Marvel, kind of,
Yeah.
because her mom was also exposed to the radiation that made Captain Marvel.
correct. Yeah, what's her name?
Something Rambeau.
No. What is the unit of light? Power.
I don't remember. Fuck, I can't remember.
But anyways, no, I did like it because of like Miss Marvel is such a new character. I don't know. I guess it's too millennial to be Photon. There you go. It is too millennial for all these old nerds to be like judging it so hard, I guess.
But you're always shitting on the MCU. You were shitting on the MCU in the NerdDown of the episode we did with Alex about Ponyo.
I wasn't shitting on it.
Yeah, you were saying
say?
saying these shitty MCU shows that are producing too many of them.
No, yeah, but I'm not saying that I didn't like them. They're shitty overall, but like as a nerd, like I like it.
I think maybe my most controversial opinion about the MCU shows is I like the Hawkeye show.
The Hawkeye show, see, I didn't like that until like the last 2 episodes.
I think it has the best hand-to-hand combat of any of the shows.
Because he's meant to do that. He doesn't have superpowers.
Right, and she does it too, though, which I did like, because the Miss Marvel action looks really bad. I think the CGI in Miss Marvel looks really, really bad. I remember hating the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, but it got messed up because of COVID, because they rewrote the whole thing like halfway through.
Yeah.
So
cherry picked.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you watch it as a series, but then you figure out why it doesn't make sense, because they chopped it up. Yeah, they botched it. They botched it like as part of like they didn't want to do another COVID story essentially. But as far as hand-to-hand combat's concerned, I think Hawkeye, like throughout, I remember even in episode 1 being like, that looks really, really well coordinated.
And the Mexican actor is great in it. Fucking Dalton, Tony Dalton.
Yeah,
Tony Dalton's great. No, but I'm excited for the Marvels because I know it's gonna be a whole thing.
So this year it's 3 movies, right? So it's Ant-Man, the Marvels, and
the Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Yes. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Did you watch the Christmas special?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Nice.
Karen had never seen anything of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I don't know how I let that slip through the cracks.
Really?
We weren't together last time when Guardians 2 came out.
Uh-huh.
So then, like, I'm watching the Christmas special, and she's like, "What's this?" I'm just like, "Oh, it's Guardians of the Galaxy." She's like, "What?" And I'm just like,
"What do you mean, what?"
I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, what do you mean, what? I'm like, I know you've seen Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War. Who did you think that guy was? Who did you think I was crying about when Gamora got dropped off the cliff?
Yeah.
So we watched the Christmas special together. I love that it's meta. I love that the MCU, especially the Disney originals, are not afraid to go meta right now. Like they really really put Kevin Bacon as himself in like an MCU property. Like they're just like, we're really gonna go get Kevin Bacon, the Kevin Bacon actor from Footloose, to play Kevin Bacon himself.
Great movie.
Did you
ever watch it?
Yeah. Huh?
Did you ever watch
Footloose? It's not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie.
I don't think it's a bad movie.
No.
I think it's memeable as shit because the plot doesn't make any sense. Like a whole city like policing dancing.
Gets in the Gestapo, yeah.
Gestapo. I think the plot's stupid, but like as a movie, like as an actual like storyboarded, directed, acted film, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah,
I've never thought it was a bad movie.
No, it's a good movie.
It's one of my 80s guilty pleasures. Have you seen what's it called? Little China? Big Trouble in Little China?
Big Trouble in Little... Oh, yeah. We've talked about this before. Yeah. It's a great fucking movie. I like Kung Fu Hustle.
Love Kung Fu Hustle. Love Kung Fu Hustle. Love, what's the other Kung Fu one about the white guy in the...
Fist of the Dragon? Kung Pao. Yeah,
Kung Pao. Kung Pao is really good.
Yeah, it's a parody of Fist of the Dragon. Yeah.
Did I tell you that I was trying to make Karen watch Kung Fu Hustle like in Progresso?
Uh-huh.
So
in Spanish? Yeah, I saw your tweet.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the English dub of Kung Fu Hustle isn't on Netflix, but like there's like 8 other dubs. There's the Japanese dub, Portuguese, French, German, all of them. So we're in Mexico. So I'm like, okay, you're going to watch it in Spanish and I can read the English subtitles, whatever. But then like she still wasn't interested. I'm like dying laughing. And get one of those like, you're watching, right? And she's like on her phone.
It's hilarious because even the English dubbing fitting into like the scenarios.
It's like so bad it's good.
Yeah. Because it's like, what are you thinking about? Like, blah, blah, blah. Don't you know we need to go get money?
I broke my back. Get him, guys.
It's crazy. It's really good. What else do we got?
Have we talked about Justin Roiland?
I briefly mentioned it last week. Yeah, just
dude, he's weird.
No, well, yeah, they cut him off. They're still picking up with the show.
I saw a tweet. Well, also his Hulu original show, Solar Opposites.
That was a good show.
I like it too. I like it a lot. Karen likes that show a lot. I think it's
The Wall. I like The Wall.
Yeah, the Wall episodes. I think it's apt. How even though he does all of the voices for all of these shows, he's so replaceable. Within a week, everyone was down to replace him. And they're all announced that they're producing new seasons, but moving forward without him.
Yeah, and countless accounts of TikTok just like doing the exact same voice that he does for the character.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody can do it.
Anybody can do the Rick and Morty voices at this point. I didn't know that he was in Flapjack. I didn't know he did voices in Adventure Time, I knew that. He's obviously Lemongrab. Lemongrab, like, once you hear Justin Roiland one time, you're like, okay, Lemongrab's him.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I love Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls is good.
Those types of shows, all of the shows that kind of stemmed from the creative minds that made Flapjack, Gravity Falls is my favorite. And I was so disappointed to find out that he did like 3 voices for Gravity Falls because I had no idea.
Really cool. Yep.
Gravity Falls is probably... I used to have a bunch of Gravity Falls t-shirts, but I grew out of them.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I transferred into tech, like at Lubbock, with a bunch of Gravity Falls t-shirts.
Nice.
I was so obsessed with that show.
It's a good show.
It's because it's also one of those shows where it's like, what is real? You know, is it one of those like, oh, summertime was such a dream. It was, I had such a good time with my grunkle. Like how the Kaguya-sama outro is like a whole sci-fi thing, but it was actually the president like taking a nap at a cafe. Like how much of it was real, how much of it was like just the dream of like a child that never wanted summer to end.
Mm-hmm.
So he made like this very imaginative, like otherworldly experience that he had. Like that's kind of the plot to like a multiversal plot. Mm-hmm. Like a multiversal being invades rural Oregon and takes these kids on this wild ass adventure because he's trying to take over their whole town.
Yeah, it's crazy. Justin Roiland, good. I mean, I'm glad he's gonna replace. Honestly, he's not somebody that you should be.
Dude, it's weird.
You should be defending. Like he's okay, dude. Like he's just another dude that makes voices for your favorite show.
It's weird how blatantly open. It's weird how like open. Like it's so obviously harassment. Like it's weird how comfortable he was being that cringe. Like it's like I've never seen anything like it almost. You know what I mean?
Oh man, and like the receipts are so bad, man. They're terrible.
It's even worse because they're like Twitter DMs, so you see his little fucking picture there. So it's like you can't deny that it's him.
And then from like the recordings of, you know, like the first seasons of Rick and Morty, you know, there were some troubles with Dan Harmon, you know, trying to keep him from not getting too drunk and stuff like that. And it seems like a lot of this rants, like he's having them, and it's not too
just blind drunk.
Yeah, just like being a fucking awful person.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I hate people like that too, because like they'll let themselves get too drunk on purpose, like too quickly.
To be themselves.
Right, and then they'll be a dick, and like you'll talk to them about it the next day and be like, dude, you were being a fucking oh, sorry, I was drunk. But then they're like that all the time. I hate that type of person.
Yeah.
But then like a lot of people are being like, oh, well, how's that fair? Because Dan Harmon has almost been canceled before. Because there was a lot of allegations of harassment on the set of Community, because he was the head producer and writer for Community, and that girl in Community said that Dan Harmon was super, super, super creepy with her. Her and the other girl, the one that's a prude in Community.
Yeah.
They both said like he was super
he
weird
went
with
through
them.
a divorce. You know
he has a
what I'm
really
saying?
you know his outro, like the Harmon Productions outro.
Did you know that?
Yeah, like it changes on like the progression of his divorce.
Because that's him. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, poor Dan Harmon. He just and what I've told you about this before, but like Harmon Quest is with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
The one where he's doing tabletop D&D.
Yeah, you told me.
Like he obviously is super distraught about like his ex-wife and his marriage, and like that's why we haven't had Harmon Quest in like 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's so sad because it's so clear that like they're getting divorced, but he still like so desperately wants to just be near her and be creative with her that he'll like even produce like this weird D&D tabletop session just to hang out with her.
And you know it's the foil thing with Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. Like Justin Roiland, it's a creepy fucking weird dude.
Yeah.
And Dan Harmon, his decisions put him in this weird spot that, you know what I'm saying? Like the wife was willing to do the show with him. He couldn't been that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine.
He's somewhat a professional.
Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine any people that have worked with
Justin Roiland
after this being like, no, he's a good dude.
Honestly, I felt like something was up because when you watch I use the Spectrum TV app to watch the Rick and Morty episodes.
I use the Spectrum all the time.
Do you? So like the end of the Rick and Morty episodes for season 6, they do the interviews with the writers or whatever and how they came up with these episodes. Justin Roiland is in like none of them. In like the how did they do it, how the writing sessions where the producers talk about the show, Justin Roiland's in like none of them for the entirety of season 6. And I thought that was super strange at the time. But I was like, okay, so maybe like he's not really writing anymore, he's just doing the voices, and that's just what I thought. But maybe like they knew something was up with him and that's why they didn't want to include him. And Adult Swim came out with a statement like super quickly, like 2 days after the allegations.
Not like Balenciaga and Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. So I miss when Kanye wasn't crazy. I feel like so much of like my childhood was Kanye West, and for him just to grow up and be like the worst person. As I grew up, I start to realize like he's just the worst person.
And I used to have these conversations with like Vinay. It's like, I like his shoes. Like I wish I could get myself some, but like I know because of all these bots and stuff like that. Like I'm never really gonna just sit down and like wait on a premiere for some shoes and get some. But like I knew they were like overpriced and stuff like that. But like I always thought of him of like, yeah, he makes good music. He's making really good shoes, really cool shoes. Like, and then like all this shit that started going, I was like, nah. I was like,
do you think the U.S. Senate's finally gonna do something about bots because of the Ticketmaster thing?
Dude, where has our fucking government been all this time?
All of a sudden, like
asking the right questions.
All of a sudden, Democrats and Republicans are together on one thing, and it's how much Ticketmaster fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, well, why don't you just like make it a sell back to Ticketmaster and keep that one for the next buyer?
Like, yeah, why don't you make it a non-transferable ticket so that people can't buy like 50 or hundreds of the same ticket and then sell them back?
Exactly, dude. And I'm like, Jesus, guys. Oh.
Ticketmaster's excuse is the bots. If they're gonna take that bots argument to the fucking bank, then the U.S. government's gonna be like, okay, then now everyone needs to start doing something about bots.
And we still have like $10 dozen of eggs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, God.
And there has been a 300% increase in egg apprehensions at the El Paso border.
That's wild.
And I remember having that conversation with Karen because, like eggs when I was in Medi though were like 97 cents for like a dozen, essentially. You know, 97 pesos. No, or what's the math on that? So 20 pesos is yeah. So like I think what I was exchanging at was like essentially like 20 pesos is $1.
Yeah.
So it was like what? 18 pesos for a dozen eggs. I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, like, dude. Because they're not fucking around. I was having this conversation with a coworker of mine. I'm like, dude, I was telling him, is like, Mexico right now, they're not advertising cigarettes at all. Convenience stores are banned from having on their shelves.
They're all covered. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, the only way you would know about cigarettes is that you're already an addict.
Yeah.
And the reason they have all these super good campaigns about health is because they don't want to pay for the free healthcare that Mexico has.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they tell people to, hey, get up and run. Don't sit at your desk all the time. Make sure you don't drink all this excess sugars, excess fats products. And they have like big old labels on them, and like the cigarettes have like fetuses on them, or like people without throats.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah.
And it's like it's just upsetting to the whole situation too. It's like, dude, all these companies are inflating their wages at our behalf, like on our behalf, not on their own fucking behalf.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I think this is conversation.
Like, how does bird flu affect eggs if you still pasteurize them?
No, absolutely. Like I was having this. I feel like I was having kind of a different conversation with Karen. It started with the egg thing, and it like at the time I was like, so there, like a lot of the homes don't look kept up with. You know what I mean? Or even the buildings. So I went into a Starbucks in Merida. It needed a fresh coat of paint. It was like clearly peeling, and like what, a bucket of paint's like $100. And I was like, it's a Starbucks. Like they clearly make enough money to paint this building, but like there's not like it's not like the culture to keep things like crisp and clean and like looking like the facade of things looking new, right? And there's a lot more examples of multi-generational housing, like what you were talking about, 16 people in a home or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that was several generations of people, right? Like it's your cousins, your mom and her siblings and your grandparents probably. Like that's not as much a thing in the US, you know what I mean?
It's not like it takes a village to raise a kid. There's no more village anymore. It's like you and your family on its own.
Right. Yeah. Every family for their own, but the family's 20 fucking people in one house, so they can raise the kids together.
Yeah.
American culture is like the opposite, but in like a bad way. Like that was something I didn't like coming out of that situation. I'm like, so like a lot of things, like me and Karen took the wrong bus and ended up in like the wrong part of Cancun, like nowhere remotely near like resort Cancun, which isn't even part of Cancun technically, right? Yeah. Like it's like calling the Vegas Strip Vegas. It's like not even true. That's Paradise, Nevada. That's not Las Vegas, Nevada. So we accidentally got taken to the other part of Cancun, and like we're just like freaking out because the bus essentially kicked us off, and we're like an hour and 20 minutes away from the resort part, and we had no idea how we were going to get back. But there's all these like people in like project apartment building looking places, and they're all out selling things in the middle of the night. Like it's like 11:30 on like a Tuesday, and they're still out selling things. They're still like greeting you. We only got back because this other guy that was trying to he was a chef at one of the other resorts. He was like, oh, can I hitch a ride with you guys? I can help you guys get a cab. At first, I was like, I'm super sketched out. Like, I don't know who the fuck this 19-year-old is. I don't want to get in this car with this guy. But he really did help us out. He took us to a Walmart that wasn't that far from there. He was able to, like, negotiate our way into a cab because at first this guy didn't want to take us because it was kind of far for him. And he was like, well, I guess, but it'll be like 500 pesos. I'm sure you don't have that much. I was like, 25 bucks. like, here, get me back to the resort, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck am I out here right now?
Here, have this watch.
And I was texting you about it when I was in Vegas because, you know, I was only in town for 36 hours. I didn't have enough time to catch up with you or anybody, really. And I was talking about, like, even in the sketchy parts of Cancun, at least none of the people are fucking tweakers or something like that. I go to downtown LA. I stayed in downtown Denver last year. I stayed in downtown Portland. There's drug addicts everywhere. It's just part of living in an American city. There's just people tweaking and bugging and like begging for change and yelling at absolutely nothing.
Demanding change.
Demanding change. But they're tweaking. Like they're so clearly on drugs. That wasn't a thing I saw in Mexico. Like, granted, there's no middle class in Mexico. That was something my grandma and my mom always like told me, and I thought they were being mean because you know me, I'm like a huge fucking liberal about shit. I almost use a worse word on myself, but like you know me, like you know what I mean. I'm super like progressive about annoyingly so. I know that about myself, and I thought my family was being mean about it because all of my grandma's family, has basically all immigrated into El Paso at this point, escaping violence from southern Chihuahua. And that's all I knew about Mexico, basically, right? And I've been to that part of Chihuahua. My mom didn't like me going there that much because all she knows is the violence that my grandma escaped, essentially, even though my grandma owns property out there. And like my great aunt, my great uncle live out there. And there's no middle class in Mexico. I saw that like it's either like you're just like broke and like getting by, and you have your stand, you have your job,
And you're building your house.
or you're a manager at a fucking resort, or like you're a waiter and you have a good job.
Tipped in dollars.
Right. So, but there's just no middle there. There's just no. It's so dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But even that big disparity, like I trusted this dude in this sketchy part of Cancun more than I would this crackhead in downtown LA.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
It was a different experience for me. It was super weird.
You want to hear a kind of sad but good story?
Mm.
I don't know if you noticed this in your time in rural, no, not rural, urban Mexico.
Yeah.
Did you notice that the rebar pillars were exposed on top of the houses?
No.
Hold on, let me see. Let me look up further. But yeah, you will notice this is a phenomenon already because it happens so often. But they call it the rebar of hope, because when you're building your house, the contractor or the concrete workers, they'll ask you, do you want the rebar exposed or do you want us to cut it off? People leave it exposed so you can build up the house.
Oh, okay.
So they call it the
like
rebar,
the foundation almost.
Yeah, they call it the rebar of hope. So you will see a lot of houses in urban areas in Mexico with this rebars of hope.
Like they're clearly like older houses that just never got around to building out.
Exactly.
Everyone hoped for a better time, but never actually got there. That just made me sad.
Exactly.
Can I make a
No, we're gonna end this sad.
No, I'm gonna. If I were to make a suggestion to anybody watching this, though, for some investment strategies, Progreso, Mexico, in the Yucatan, like the state of Yucatan, is totally on the up and up. Like it's weird. Like all I kept talking about for like 3-4 days in that area, like in Chalem, in Chuberna, to Karen was just like, dude, like this is what beachside Huntington Beach looked like 40 years ago. Like this is what people wish they could buy into before it got modernized.
Well, in some Vice conversations, some articles, they were talking about how the United States is stepping off from China making everything, and they're making Mexico make everything now.
Good. I saw that in Juarez. I did see that. You see that a lot in Juarez, just driving to the airport.
So then we have that. We also have the soccer cup of apparently the MX Cup and the MLS.
We're gonna watch all the games
together.
Who's our team? No, we need different teams. Who's my American?
I would go for a Juarez team if they qualified.
Would you?
Yeah.
Is there anybody in Southern Chihuahua? Probably
not. But and then with like properties in. Unfortunately, I hope that Mexico doesn't go into a renter's country as well.
Yeah. Like
America is probably gonna be.
Yeah.
So hopefully they still help out and they know when to not listen to the United States.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully the peso goes up.
But dude, it's not only like literally, I could see so much investment being made in that beachside property. Like it's weird. Like it's the Yucatan Peninsula. It's 80 degrees year round. You know what I mean?
There's an ongoing protest with taxi drivers and public transportation against Ubers in Mexico.
Honestly, they actively talked about that. When I was on the ferry to Isla de Mujeres, there was a middle-aged group of friends behind me that were from El Paso. It was super weird. So I'm just like, super weird. There's like this group of like 50-year-olds like just catching up like in Cancun, like behind me, and I'm listening to their whole conversation, and they're just talking about like, yeah, I took this Uber in last night, and the Uber was bragging like, yeah, and he took a cab in, and the cab driver was bragging about, yeah, anytime we see Ubers, we get them and we kill them. We kill all those Ubers. And like I thought, some of Karen's friends, you've met them before. They were telling me that they just came back from Cancun, and they were like saying that their cab drivers had said similar things, that they were killing all the Uber drivers in that town, like because that cab system is run by the cartels. Like the Quintana Roo and the Yucatan like state governments don't want to do anything to like stop the cab companies from killing Uber drivers.
Well, I'm not even talking about that because that's a different thing. Because
did I totally go up on the wrong thing?
No. It's right, but other piece to that is that Uber, it is a private company,
Right.
and it's not labeled as public transportation, where they get taxed and stuff for their rights from the state, from the country, but Uber doesn't.
Right.
So that's why they're like, hey, if you're gonna, like, you need to treat Uber either as public transportation,
right,
or do you need to stop? You need to make us stop, like, paying the drivers mostly, or like you have to stop waging my you know, stop what do you call it, docking my checks because I'm a public transportation entity.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. You know what else was super sketchy? Like our rental, the home office for Alamo Insurance in Mexico is in Sinaloa. And like when you get a rental, you're supposed to look around the car to see what damage is already there, so they don't try to get you with it at the end. I took a stupid amount of pictures of the front passenger side tire because it was dented as shit. It was super garbage. Like somebody had clearly hit a curb and like fucked it up. And like I told them straight out, I was like, dude, that tire's messed up. And they're like, it's fine. It's just the cap. It's just the hubcap. It's just the hubcap. I was like, no, dude, that tire's messed up. Of course, on the way back, that tire explodes, and like, so I have to change that, and then they charge us for that tire at the end, and I was like, dude, I told you guys flat out that tire was gonna mess up. But then I don't know if this is a bias. I don't know if this is, maybe not bigoted. I don't know if it's like just ignorant on my part, but like, is it because the home office is in Sinaloa and like my grandma didn't want me to go to Cancun that week because the weekend before was the weekend that Sinaloa was popping off, because that was the weekend that
they recapture El Chapo's son and Guapo.
Yes.
And Guapo Guzman.
Yes.
With all due respect.
Y'all not catching me, fuckers.
Hey, dude.
But like, yeah, so my grandma didn't even want me going out.
You're gonna get a fucked up taco de pastor one day.
Not my pastor. They could charge me $3 for an egg on my torta. But then like, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I just thought it was super weird that like Sinaloa would even be considered a business entity, because all I know about Sinaloa is the cartel.
Well, did you know the cartel now controls pretty much like the majority of the avocado growth in Mexico?
I think I heard that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're making it cheaper.
I heard that because like when there was a risk that avocados were going to go up 2 years ago, it was because the early Biden administration was trying to block cartel-related avocados from being imported into the U.S. And that just ended up being all avocados, and everyone was fucking pissed. So like then now we're getting the opposite side of that feedback, because now we have people being like, oh, the U.S. government is actively supporting the cartels via avocados.
Yeah. But anyways, do you think that's it for episode 128 of Between Nerds? Kaguya-sama, Love is War, ultra romantic first episode of February, Feelings February.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think this was a very solid episode.
Absolutely. Great episode. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Aldo. Thank you, nerds, for subscribing. Keep subscribing. This has been
Between
Birds.
Nerds.
Thanks for watching Between Nerds Podcast. Somewhere on the screen is a link to our most recent episode. Somewhere else on the screen is a link to a body of clips that you all should watch. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.